Hello there, fellow collectors. Welcome back to another episode of Sneak Peek Episode 5. I'm not riding solo today, or I should say tonight, because it's 7:45 p.m. But today, I'm here with a special guest back on my channel for the second time after his debut on the channel with the Collector Tour, Justin, aka How Ya Figure. What is up, man? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited, man. I said in my stories on Instagram that I'm feeling chatty tonight. I've been waiting to talk about this. You asked me to come on. I was so excited. And yeah, man, I can't wait to get into some of these topics, man. It's been an awesome week of just all kinds of news and releases and pre-orders, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, dude, every once in a while, I feel like we get these really, really hype weeks. You know, we had like the Joker week where it was Joker and then Han Solo was announced. Now we got Paul Atreides building up all the hype for Inart, and then Hot Toys drops these two bangers that everybody has been waiting for with Balin and Shin. So I'm excited to talk about some of this stuff. Yeah, it's been a really exciting week. It's a great time to be a Star Wars fan. I'll say that, but really excited to get into this stuff. But before we get going, we are going to address the chat. And then also, I just want to ask you something real quick too. Did you pick anything up lately, Justin?
I did, man. I picked up. Let me break it out here. If you know, I'm not trying to plug my Instagram, I promise, but I post this on Instagram for people that follow me. Infinity War Star-Lord, man, I couldn't wait. I see X-Man in the chat. He knows that I'm now on the Guardian. He knows how much trouble I'm in because I'm also looking at the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 figures. But yeah, man, this figure's great. And I just couldn't wait for that Volume 3, especially not knowing what they're going to do with Drax. And yeah, I picked that one up, man. My first order from Underground. And it went well, man. I mean, he got it out to me quick, and it was boxed great. And yeah, man, no, I mean, definitely be ordering again.
Got that double box shipping?
Yeah. Yeah, this one he put in the description, so I knew. So it's not like but he's told me that there wouldn't be a shipper box with this one.
Oh, no, yeah, gotcha.
Even without the shipper box, it was great, and had some peanuts in there and everything. So
oh yeah, the packing peanuts. Yep, the staple. Yeah, he's pretty good at labeling stuff like in his description on the site, like if it's missing like a shipper or something like that. Can you move your mic a touch closer?
Absolutely. Here, let me turn it up just one more. I was worried I was too loud.
No, you're a touch quiet on my end.
All right, how am I right now?
That's good. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Speaking of Underground figures, you guys know I always plug them. We got some people in the chat. X-Man's already saying I'm really loving Underground right now. I know he's been ordering some stuff from them, but I just want to give them a shout out. As always, Underground figures, great place to get stuff from. Double box shipping, 5% off MSRP, and no NRD pre-orders, which is something that I love. Obviously, I just hate putting down NRDs. You guys know the deal, but go check out Underground figures if you haven't. All the information is in the description below, and I just wanted to pull this up real quick. I'm going to add this in on their site. So there are some figures right now. If anybody's interested in getting any like first order figures or sequel figures, he's selling some of these, like these, I think it's these 6 right here. So you can go check this out. If you just search first order, you can see he's like discounting some stuff. He's going to be adding in some different figures on his site that I think he has like some back stock of. He's going to be adding in some figures into sales. So like a couple of these are like under $200. But go check this out if you're interested or you're looking for any first order stuff. Because he's doing a sale. And like I said, there's probably going to be more to come. So I just wanted to pull this up and, throw this out there. And then real quick, because I already pre-ordered Balin and Shin. But here you can kind of see like the prices. $266 for Shin, and then Balin's $271. So you get that nice 5% off right up front. So like I said, save yourself some money and get really good service at the same time. So go check them out. Oh, look at that.
I'm on top now. I'm at the top, but I just want to add one more thing about Underground, Steve.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I tried them out based on your recommendation, but and I'm truly just saying this from the order I got in. But like I said, man, it was the first order I've had has been great. And like I said, I haven't gotten a pre-order in yet, but I have a couple pre-orders going on there. So yeah, good experience so far for me, and I'll definitely be ordering again. I know a few people in the chat say they've ordered and they get great customer service with them. So.
Yeah, it's really nice to do like the no NRD pre-orders. You're just like, I email him all my orders. So I always just email him. I don't really, you can buy through the site, but I like to just email. That's just like how I like to keep track. So I just email him, and then, yeah, he'll invoice you when he'll give you a heads up. Like, hey, we just got the notification from Sideshow that it's ready to ship to us. We'll have it in whatever 7 to 10 days, and then we'll invoice you. So to be ready for an invoice essentially. And then right when he gets it, the day he gets it, invoices you. Right when you pay, you'll get shipping. Like within like an hour or two, you'll get your label, unless he's got something else going on, or maybe it's a weekend or something. But
and be checking that site, because I was just telling Steve backstage, I saw there was a Black Adam like popped up for a little bit of time. That wasn't on my radar, but if it would have been, I would have like swooped that up. So just be checking, because I think, like you said, Steve, you get stuff like at different times. Sometimes he'll get stuff a little earlier, sometimes he'll get stuff a little later. So it just depends.
Yeah, and sometimes people cancel stuff. Sometimes people cancel their pre-orders, or like they get invoiced and they don't pay for it. So I'm sure somebody probably just didn't fulfill their Black Adam invoice and canceled it, so it'll pop back up. But yeah, you guys can always reach out to Ray as well. Like I said, information is in the description. Anytime you reach out, even if you're a repeat order, you know, you can always mention that you sent me. That helps, you know, helps me out. And then also, like, I'm trying to get you guys, you know, some working on getting some perks for you guys as well, kind of like how I did that $10 off code for you guys. So keep that stuff going. You can always reach out to me if you have questions. But enough about that. Great plug for Underground Figures. But let's address the chat. We got Christian Cooper in the house saying, what up, Steve? What's up, Christian? Thank you so much for tuning in, bro. We got Austin Nicholas, a gifted channel member. I know he was excited about that, saying, hey guys, love you guys. What's up, Austin? Dude, I know Austin right now is hanging out with the boys, him, Collector Joey, and Danny Spotchka, and then Reverse Zero, all hanging out. Are you getting in on that this weekend?
Oh gosh, I hope I didn't just mess up the sound. Okay.
No, you're good.
Is my sound good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
You're good
I almost did. Me and Joey were going back and forth. I was actually at I went to a couple of the stores he said that might be going to, because I told him I'd be in the area, you know, looking around at some stuff, and you know, it just didn't work out today. But we're gonna hit up, you know, sometime this weekend. We're gonna meet up sometime.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure you guys will make it work at some point, because you live really close.
Yeah,
that's awesome. We got Cage, another channel member in the house, saying, sup everyone, hope you're all having a great night. Smashing that strength emoji. Yes, let's go. X-Man Supreme says, well then. Hello, bro. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got Jose G. Hernandez, another gifted channel member, says, hello everyone, hitting that hello there emoji. What's up, bro? Thank you for being here. Let's see. We gotta scroll down. There's a lot of comments. We got a new channel member from last stream, I believe I did. AJ Agrusa says, good evening, friends. Hope all is well. What is up, AJ? Thank you for tuning in, bro, and being a new supporter of the channel. We got Hayden Collects saying, hey, bro, the stream tonight's going to be fire. I hope you're doing well, man. Yeah, it's going to be a nice stream. It's going to be a good one. Excited to talk about this stuff for sure. Some more. I know I talked about it on Wolfpack Wednesday, but excited to talk about it, kind of go a little bit more in depth with some of my thoughts, and then hear what Justin has to say as well. We got another channel member in the house, Brad Cormack, saying hello there. What is up, Brad? Thank you so much for tuning in, as always. And we got another channel member. I feel like I just say it constantly. Love all these channel members in the chat, as always. You guys are awesome. Daniel Brancato saying hello, everyone. What is up, Daniel? Yes, Hayden says, let's talk about some Paul Atreides. Yes, we will get there. The Rod's Office, another channel member, smashing his favorite emoji, the Grail. The Grail emoji says, let's do this, you sneaky bastards. Let's go. Let's go, T.O. X-Man says, I'm going to be honest, I only just in the last week heard the name Paul Atreides for the first time. Damn. And I feel like it's weird that I already know how to spell it. Yeah, once you get the spelling, you kind of get it. And then you just see it all over the place right now. That's, you know, pretty much just happening constantly. So, yes.
What I've been loving is people... Sorry, I was just going to say, what I've been loving is people are like, wanting to go read the books now. Like, they're like seeing the movie, they liked it so much, and like, man, I gotta go read the source material. And that's always awesome. That means they really did a good job with it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool for sure.
Yeah.
AJ's using these emojis. Have fun with those, bro. Stacy, aka Jedi291, is in the house. Good evening, guys. What a great week for collectors. Yes. Yes. Oh, we lost Howie Figure for a second, but he's back. I don't know why I just lost. You went out for a sec, but you're back. Not sure what happened. But Stacy, thank you for being here. X-Man, yeah, I'm really loving Underground right now. It's funny. I know you've been getting some stuff from there, but yeah, it's once you start doing it, man, it's yeah, you want to just keep getting stuff. You want to keep getting stuff for sure. Justin, can you say something real quick? I can't hear you. Oh, wait, did you mute yourself?
Yeah, I'm still new to streaming, man.
That's exactly what I literally clicked on your name and it says ask for unmute. No, you're good. You're good. You can mute yourself if you need to. That's totally fine.
No, it's cool. I just didn't want, while you were talking to chat, I didn't want to just be breathing into the.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You disconnected for a second, then I was like, uh oh, and then your sound went out, and I was like, uh oh. You're good. Austin says Joey, Danny, and Carlos give their love, guys. Yes. Love you guys. I hope you guys have a great time this weekend. Wish I could be there for sure. We'll work out at some point. Hopefully when things slow down at some point in my life. Hayden says Underground is great. Most of my pre-orders are through Ray. What a great guy. Yes. Ray's that dude. AJ says, I think next week I need to pick something up from him. That credit I have is burning a hole in my pocket and I have no idea, or I have an idea I need to make it happen. Yeah, that's right. The credit that you won. Yes, that was like back in December. You gotta get on that, man. Got to get on that for sure. Christian got his Electro from there. Great figure. Yes, Brad says gotta love Ray. A lot of love for Ray in the chat. A lot of people know him in the community. X-Man says, yeah, I pre-ordered Balin, Shin, and Pennywise. Nice. It's a nice haul, man. Nice haul. And then he says, yeah, I wish I had pre-ordered Beetlejuice with him. It costs so much less, even factoring in expected shipping. Yeah, Beetlejuice is on there. And then it's always nice because really, like, what the price ends up being is like whatever Sideshow's listed price is, that's about what it comes out to total at Underground. That's about like plus or minus maybe like a couple bucks or something. That's about what it ends up being. So I like, if you're looking at the Sideshow price, that's almost your all-in price. So it's really nice. Depending on where you live with shipping too. But it's always pretty close for me. Let's see here. Yeah, raise the shiz. Loving all these emojis in the house. We got Danny Spotchka. What's up, Danny? With the name change, the new logo, hitting that hello there. What is up, bro? Good to see you in here. We got Darth Tamaris in the house. A gifted channel member from, I think, last stream saying, what's up, fellas? What is up, dude? Always good seeing you in here as well. Thank you so much for being here. And we got Collection Obsession, another channel member with the strength emoji saying, good evening, collectors. Ooh, I think we got through them all.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was good, man. That was good.
It's always fun addressing the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Really happy that you all are here for another fun live stream. It's weird not being solo. I'm usually like solo for a lot of these. So it's nice to have somebody where I don't just have to talk the whole time. You guys get to listen to us kind of go back and forth, and we'll, of course, pull in your thoughts from the chat. And before we get going, I need to pull something up here because I'm definitely going to want to get some polls going here. So I need to just go, give me 1 second. Let me just pull this up. Yeah, so X-Man says, my Multiverse Madness Strange cost me 47 cents less than Sideshow list price. Yeah, and Darth Tomorrow says, Sideshow really be slipping it to you when you add on that tax and shipping. Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot, right?
And that's the thing. Like, even with that Sideshow, even with that like Sideshow 35% off that they do or whatever, you get really excited. And then if you're not picking one of those options that are like free shipping or $5 shipping, by the time you add all that shipping and tax, man, you're like, oh, it's not $280 after all.
Yeah, it's not it ends up not being a great deal. You can get it for like a different price, right? Okay. Let's get into it, man. Let's I'm going to go to a different scene here, and I think we should be good. We are good. The first figure we have on the docket is Balin, and of course we get Balin and Shin revealed together, which I think like a while ago was weird. I I want to say when I was talking about this a while ago about these figures, like the potential for them to coming out, I think I had mentioned like if they announce these, they got to announce them like pretty much at the same time. I thought that was kind of like, you can't just show one. It was going to be like, I think kind of my thought was if you're going to do one of them, you have to do the other one. To me, I was kind of like, only getting one just doesn't make sense. If you're going to do one, if you're going to do this, you have to bring them both out. And they did it. They freaking did it. I used to just say Balin and Shin when constantly for weeks. Yeah. And they're both here. We've been gifted just a ton of blessings by this line. It's crazy. But Justin, I'm gonna let you go first on this one, man, and give you get the guest first go at this one. Let me know your thoughts here on Balin, and you can let me know too, like if this is one that you're gonna be picking up. Yeah, man, what are your thoughts on Balin?
I'm for sure picking these two up. These are the two, like when I was kind of thinking about, because again, being a new collector, you kind of, I have to kind of navigate like what I have to prioritize all the different stuff. But when I really enjoyed Ahsoka, so when I was thinking about like what Ahsoka figures do I really need, and I'm just talking live action. I know a lot of people like you, Steve, like you're excited because they're going deep on that line, and you can do it with like a Clone Wars display or Rebels or whatever. So for me, I'm just trying to focus on the Ahsoka show just to help me like flesh out the line. And for me personally, Balin and Shin are like two characters that I feel like are a necessity for my display. I just love their character design. I love the costume design. I love the way their characters looked. Just the movements. And let's just stick with Balin since we're talking about him first. You mentioned this in the Jedi or in the Wolfpack Wednesday stream. I noticed talking about his eyes and the aging. That's exactly how I feel. I think the eyes on this figure alone for me make the whole figure. Like Ray Stevenson is a actor, did a lot of work with his eyes and his facial expressions. Just the way he moved in that show was really good. And I remember y'all were talking about too the chest and the shoulders and stuff. And I'm with everybody on that. I love the medieval kind of, it's like a medieval knight type of thing. It almost looks like something that could be out of Game of Thrones. It looks like it could fit in that type of thing as well. But again, just in every photo, I'm just drawn to those eyes, man, and the aging around them. And my personal favorite look actually is when he's got that the hood on. I just think that's great. That was kind of the first one that yeah. And I just
let me see if I can find it.
Yeah,
this one.
I just love that, man, because I feel like the eyes really pop with that. And if I remember correctly, that was like the first time you saw him, he looked like this, I think, in the first episode. I could be wrong, but I feel like this was like his introduction, and he just looks real menacing there. And yeah, man, I think it looks great, and I think they hit it out of the park with these prototype photos for sure.
Yeah, this hood is dope. I agree. Yeah, man, I was just so excited to see both these revealed. But there is a poll, guys. I put a poll in the chat. You can let us know if you're going to be getting Balin, Shin, both, or neither of them. You can let us know. Christian says he pre-ordered both. He's so hyped for both of these. Let's see. Yeah, AJ says this figure looks amazing. I can't wait to get this. Hey, man, there you could take your $50 in credit and put it towards a potential pre-order if you really wanted to. Brad pulled the trigger right away. Yeah, right when they went up, I ordered them as well. Just something that I know I'm 100% getting. Definitely two figures that I locked in right away. Justin, did you say you pre-ordered both of these two, right?
Well,
are you waiting? I forget. I know you said you're probably going to.
Me and you were going back and forth, and you were kind of like, and Steve always is a great friend because he always does this for me. He's like, just make sure you really want them, because he's just he knows I want everything right now. So I am pre-ordering them tonight. I've made up my mind. I slept on it, and I was like, yeah, these I got to pre-order these two. Like these are for sure for me. So yeah, I'm pre-ordering it tonight through Underground. Yep.
Yeah, awesome, man. Awesome. Funky Cold Santa's in the house. What is up, man? Thank you so much for being here again. I think you've been to like the majority of my streams lately, so I really appreciate you tuning into the show. He says both are great, strong likenesses, but oh my, that Shin figure. Yeah, I think they both look really good. Hayden says these aren't for me, but they're incredible announcements. Definitely happy for those picking these up. I can see why some people aren't going to get these two as well. Stacy says I think you absolutely have to get both. Thrawn's office is both doodly poodlies for me. Had to. Yes, had to. Miami's nemesis is in the house. What is up, Chris? Thank you so much for being here, bro. Good to see you. And then AJ says, no question, this is a both for me. Yeah, man. I think, yeah, Justin, like you said, the eyes when I first saw this, like, let me go like this right in here, like this picture. This literally looks like this is spot on. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, like they just really did this figure justice. And obviously, you know, everybody knows the actor passed away. And that was kind of the up in the air thing, is like, is this figure going to get made? And I just feel like, yeah, they did right by him with this figure of just like, I have no complaints about the figure itself. I think it looks awesome. D-Lo brought up a really good point on Wolfpack Wednesday about his, like the proportions. Something that I didn't really, when I was looking at it, I was just like, didn't really pay too much attention, but the body structure of him, like they nailed the proportions on this. You know,
Yes.
they could have went, you know, like they could have messed this up because they've messed it up on some other figures, but the body proportions look really good. I think this, you know, like his cloak that he's wearing, or the robe looks awesome. One thing I think we talked about, and you said something similar too, is like the fabric, like the fabric on his chest. I'm just really glad they didn't go pleather on this. That's like one of my main things. It's like, I'm really glad this isn't pleather, and they talk about it. I forget. It's in here on one of the pictures.
It is. There it is right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you have like this fabric material, which hopefully means you can just pose this away, you know, however you want. And then you have like, yeah, this really just cool armor, man. The looks of these characters also just make the figures look so much better because their designs are so unique.
Yeah.
Talked about this on Wednesday too. My only gripe is like, I really wish they would have done, like they could have done some type of planet themed base. Just give us something else for the base. Like they could have given us like a CTOS base. That would have been really cool. They could have done anything other than this rectangle. But so it goes. We get this same old rectangle base, but that's okay.
I'm kind of surprised how many hands this one comes with, as opposed to the Shin figure, which comes with like a couple of. This one looks like it comes with like 4 sets of hands or something.
I wonder if there's I don't know if there's a photo. Sorry, I know I'm going fast, everybody. I apologize. I hate scrolling through really fast. There isn't like a photo, but yeah, there are a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Are there 11 total? Wait, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. Yeah, so that's a lot. That means that unless this is the ones that are included on him, that means there's 13 total hands. It's a lot. It's a lot of hands. That's a good catch.
Yeah. But I'm with you totally, man, on the you know, and I said this and when I was talking about these figures, I love the fact, the thing that I've really noticed about Ahsoka that they did really well, whether you liked the show or maybe didn't like it, I think most people can agree, like the costume design on the show, I thought they really did a good job. That's why I think every single one of these figures that are coming out, you know, I see a few people in the chat, and I've heard, you know, talked to a few people in other chats. They're like, man, I wasn't even really going to collect any Ahsoka, but these just look too good. They're putting the A+ team on this line, man. I mean, I was the same way. I thought, I'll get a couple of figures. Now I'm like 4 pre-orders in, and I'm like, man, like this line just keeps getting better and better and better. And this figure, you mentioned it, man, and what you talked about with D-Lo, with the shoulders and the proportions. He has such a presence, especially that, you know, just the wide shoulders and so. I mean, that's what makes that character unique. And Ray Stevenson's a big guy too, and I think they really put that in this figure, and that's what stood out to me also. I think it looks great.
Yeah, 100% agree. Also, I really like his like forearm gauntlets. This looks so good. Like this armor plating on his hands. Like the armor looks really, really good. Everything just looks really good. Everything looks really good. I literally have no complaints. I know. Yeah, Thrawn's office says hair and beard needs way more pepper, but no one cares but me. I've accepted that. Hey, maybe they'll adjust it on the final product. You know, you never know. They could. Either way, if it turns out like this, it'll be fine. But yeah, I could see that. I could see why you're saying that.
And the rolling eyeballs too. The rolling eyeballs for this figure, I think the rolling eyeballs are like vital. Like I love that you can do
100%.
different things. Yeah, I'm normally that I'm kind of half and half on. Like I like the feature, but I don't usually need it with every figure. This one, I can't wait to do different looks and different. I mean, just a testament to that performance, man, that he can just, it was almost like a subtle evil, like just a brooding thing, an intelligence about him, the way he moved. It was such a physical performance without overdoing it. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rolling eyes, like this picture, I feel like he just like he did such a great job acting where like he had this mystery to him, but also he just like he relayed a lot of how he was acting just with like the expression and the look on his face and the look in his eyes was just like just the look in his eyes. Like this picture right here just really gives like that mystery element of his character. And then you go to like some of these other pictures where it just the look of it, like this looks like it's just like when you first see him coming through, in that one scene of like it looks just like him. Yeah,
he always seemed like the smartest guy in every scene. Like every scene he was in, like you said, with the mystery, it was like, man, this guy, like, and it's just, and it's been talked about a lot, but I want to just repeat it. Like, it's such a shame too, man, because I think they, and Steve, you're the Star Wars guy, so you tell me. I think they had a lot of plans for this character. And
I would think based on what they were doing, like, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they recast him based on the direction that they were going. Like, I don't, or maybe they don't, maybe they just like, maybe they somehow make it so he progresses to where he was going in the story and then they just discuss it. But he was going to end up probably being like a vital piece of Ahsoka season 2.
Do you feel like this might be the only BAYLAN Skoll, the only Ray Stevenson BAYLAN Skoll? Never say never, but do you feel like this might be the only one we get, at least for a while?
Yeah, this figure's not coming out. Unless in the future after this comes out, this is like your only chance at getting this, basically this actor's portrayal anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless they went later and did it. And like this is a situation where like season 2 is coming out. What's going to happen with the character? If we get another version of him, it's going to be a different figure. And I just really loved his portrayal. This is not one for me, that I can miss out on. So like this is kind of like, in my mind, this is your one shot to get this portrayal of the character, and he absolutely nailed it as well. So it's just it's tough. It's hard to talk about because just, with him passing away, and
it is.
We're talking about a figure here, but at the same time, it's just like, for me personally, I feel like, it makes it just kind of even more, it's just like more emotional attachment to the figure itself, and just knowing the circumstances surrounding it is just, it's just sad. And it's a figure that I would want to have represented in my collection, partially, just kind of like the Chadwick Boseman too. I want to get a Black Panther at some point. Just not only did I really like the character, but just him as an actor and what he went through and stuff, and just
absolutely.
Yeah. So it's probably going to be the only, and I just don't see them ever, like, this is not a figure that I would think down the road they're going to go, oh, let's go back and do a 2.0 or a reissue of this. There's not really anything that they need to 2.0 necessarily. In a reissue, I guess, I don't know, maybe down the road, how would that make sense? I don't really know if that answers your question. Kind of a long-winded answer.
No, it does, and that's why I asked you, is because again, I go to you with a lot of this different Star Wars stuff. I wasn't sure. Now, was he a character that was just introduced in this series, or did he show up in some other stuff? Because that's what I was unaware of.
New.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. Yeah.
Yep, him and Shin are both new.
Yeah.
Yep. Did you watch, how much of the animated stuff have you watched? I forget if we had this conversation or not.
Yeah, I hate saying it because like Thrawn's Office, man, is going to just give me so much crap in the chat for this, but I haven't watched a lot of the Clone Wars animated series. It was a timing thing, right? Most of my Star Wars knowledge obviously comes from all the movies that went to theaters. Like I went and saw those multiple times in theaters, the ones I could, even when they did like re-release stuff. So that's kind of, what my main knowledge comes from. I watched about, I'd say like half of Rebels, and I feel like I've seen all of Rebels for the most part, just because the stuff I did miss, I watched like some recaps on and stuff. But and I've watched a few episodes of the Bad Batch, but I haven't gotten super deep into that yet. But yeah, in terms of animated stuff, I know the main one is the Clone Wars, but that's just to try to get into that now. I feel like I already know a lot of the stuff that happens.
Yeah.
So I'd have to like talk to somebody and say, what are the vital like episodes? And I wouldn't mind watching. It's a lot of episodes to cover.
Yeah, you can watch like there's a way to watch it where like you can skip some of like the, I guess if you want to call them filler episodes. If you have the ability to watch all of it, it's really nice to watch all of it. But and there's also leading up to the Ahsoka show, like if you're interested in that, there's a couple different graphics online and I could send it to you too. I know like I have it on my phone, but there's like a checklist of like, here's what you should watch in Clone Wars and Rebels leading up to Ahsoka, all of her different arcs and all the episodes that she appears in. So you get her entire arc leading up to the show.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice way to do it, where it breaks down. So then you're not watching, tens and tens and tens of episodes.
And I did that a little bit in preparation for Ahsoka, like I was like, okay, I want to kind of like at least know, because I heard that they're like, hey, if you've seen the Clone Wars, you have a base, you have a bit more knowledge what's going on. But I feel like, and this is coming from somebody that didn't watch all of the animated series Clone Wars, I felt like the show did a good job kind of catching me up to speed. And so that's why I was able to enjoy it. And I would just implore everybody in the chat, like always watch stuff for yourself, because I had heard mixed things on Ahsoka. And I was kind of thinking like, man, I don't know, man. So finally I just watched it, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed the show. I mean, I really did like Ahsoka. I thought they did a good job with it. So
yeah. And if you, I forget what I was going to say. I forget.
Sorry, man. I talked too much.
I literally lost I literally completely lost the thing. I was going to, I was just to say, if you watch Rebels too, or just like, if you know about her arc, yeah, it just really enhances the show a significant amount. Because then Hera, and then like how her kid, obviously like the connection with her child, and just like
right.
there's a lot more to Ahsoka if you watch Rebels. So let's see here. Christian says, Steve, are there any figures in the Ahsoka line that you are passing on?
The answer is no,
brother.
The answer is no, Christian. He's getting every single figure, man.
To be honest, like there were a couple that I was gonna pass on. I was gonna pass on potentially Captain Rex, but now they announced this Padawan Ahsoka, because I already have a Rex. Like I have a Phase 2 Rex, but now like they're doing this Phase 1 Rex, and Phase 1 Rex goes with this Padawan Ahsoka that they just announced, and Phase 1 Rex also goes with Clone Wars Anakin and Clone Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm probably going to end up getting Rex now. Marok was another one that I was considering passing on, but now that Balin and Shin are here, he's just going to look really awesome with them. So I'll probably get him too. The one that I probably won't get right away as of right now is potentially the Night Trooper. I don't know if I'm going to get the Night Trooper like right off the bat. I might wait on that one because it's a trooper and there's just a lot of stuff coming. And yeah, the Night Trooper is one that honestly, like I'll probably end up with everything from this line at some point. I hate saying that because I think there's like 13 figures right now from the line, and there's more coming. There's probably gonna be more stuff coming. Oh, but yeah,
I was gonna say that's how much they have now. Like that 13 right now. I'm sure there's gonna be at least there's 2 or 3 characters for sure that they have to announce. Like
I think we're probably going to be close to 20 on this line. Yeah, I could see Hu Yang coming. I could see potentially Ezra. I could see them doing Morgan Elsbeth, maybe she's a maybe, in like the kind of like the Night Mothers, they're like a maybe, or like the Night Sisters, like the you know what I'm saying, those 3.
I don't want them to release that one because I actually love the costume design on those characters.
I don't want to have to get 3 of those is one thing too.
That's the scary thing.
They previewed that as like kind of like zombie death trooper. So we're going to be probably close to 20. The other thing about this is that it overlaps so much. I talked about this in the past too, of like this overlaps a lot with Rebels. So you're getting a lot of figures that it's kind of like double dipping in both properties, and you get the flashback of the Clone Wars, which is just like a full on like, oh, we can brand this Ahsoka, but they're all Clone Wars, and they have done a ton of Clone Wars stuff. Like Hot Toys loves Clone Wars. So
What character, Steve? I think this could help some people out, and this is kind of for me as well because again, I'm coming from I'm wanting to collect this series, right? So, what characters do you feel like are essential to go ahead and get? We already talked about Balin. Obviously, they've already released us. You know, even though that was Mandalorian licensed, we're getting a second Ahsoka. We're going to get plenty more of those. Like, what characters do you feel like are ones that you probably need to get because there might or probably won't be that 2.0. You know, you mentioned the Night Trooper. Is that one that if people really want, they should maybe look at? Or
Yeah, dude, it's so tough to say, man. It's so tough to say right now. Like 2.0s are so far off at this point for like a lot. They just come out so much, like so far into the future. So I don't think I would bank it on that. But like you mean like must have, what do I think are must have figures for the line?
yeah, well, yeah, because again, if people are trying to prioritize what to buy,
Oh yeah,
and
sure.
yeah, like
Priority
what, like you
wise.
want to get Balin because they're probably not going to do a Balin, but like maybe when season 2 of Ahsoka eventually comes out, they might do an updated version if a character gets like a new look. You know, they might do a new,
Yeah.
you know,
I would say if there's an Ezra that's revealed, we're probably going to get like a new look Ezra. That's more in tune with probably like his Rebels look. So Ezra, I could see maybe people like him coming out in his kind of like hermit look and maybe passing on if that one comes out. It's so hard to answer. You know, it's so hard to answer. Also, like this is what I mean for this line. There's so many difference. There's you got like I said, you got Clone Wars, you got the attachment to Rebels. You know, like I could say Hera is a must pick up. I'm a Rebels fan. You know what I mean? I could see why people would see Hera and be like, oh, she was good in the show, but like I don't really know much about her, so it's not a figure that I'm gonna get. Well, if you watch Rebels, like she's a critical character to this story. You know what I mean? And just like the overarching, you know, just everything with Rebels and leading into Ahsoka, and like there's a lot of history there. So
yeah,
it's hard for me to answer because I'm such a fan of everything else. That's
right.
but that's also kind of like the beauty of this line is because, you know, if you haven't really seen that stuff and you don't care too much, then you can go towards more so the stuff that you're drawn to.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing though is this line is very unique in that the show in and of itself is kind of unique that if you don't really have a lot of background in the characters, I could see people passing on a lot of these figures and not really wanting much of them. You know, does that make sense? I don't really like,
No,
I
it
can
absolutely.
see, yeah, I see
And I,
people being not really caring.
you know, and I'm gonna, you know, talking about Thrawn's office down there. You know, I know that when the Mandalorian, you know, those Mandalorian figures came out and the clones and all this stuff, like he's really focused in on that part of it. You know, you and him were talking back and forth. You know, he was in the chat or whatever about
Yeah.
how he was going to do a Clone Wars, how he was going to do a Rebels. So I do think that's interesting because for me, who's kind of collecting the show, for me, it's like I'll just tell you the ones I have pre-ordered right now. I got Sabine, White Suit Ahsoka, Sabine, Balin, and Shin right now. Those are the 4 I have pre-ordered so far. I'm thinking I'm probably going to add 1 or 2 more for this line, but those are the 4 that like just for me, I really want. Like my favorite scenes in the show had a combination of those 4 characters in the scenes. So that to
Yeah.
me is like kind of what I'm focused on right now. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Yep. Yep. And I think you're going to get multiple different answers from different people. And like I said, I think that's the beauty of this line of just like, what are you drawn to? You know, are you drawn to like what you like, how you are, immediate scenes in the show that you really, really like? Are you drawn to going back to Clone Wars stuff and Ahsoka being a Padawan and just like how seeing phase 1 Rex in live action, and just like there's just so much different stuff. And then you have the Rebels callback. You have Chopper, who's obviously like an incredible droid, the little war criminal. Yeah, there's just so much just amazing stuff in this line. So you could be pulled in all different directions.
it's got a lot of versatility, man.
Yeah, and be like me and just basically end up wanting everything from it. Yep, that's what happens. Thrawn's off says, don't get me wrong, I'm not actually complaining. I think it's fantastic looking and would be completely satisfied if he looks just like the proto. Oh no, I get what you're saying 100%. But I also think like, I think if they added a little bit of change into his hair, that would be, I agree. It's okay to be nitpicky. They're never going to have a reason to make another BAYLAN SkOll, at least this version. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what happens in the second season. because it's coming. It's coming, and his arc was important. So, Stacy says, "Love these costumes. This they could easily be from a medieval movie. Yeah, they're so awesome." And then you see that like these two, like I said, then you know, you have Marok, which was a figure. I'm like, I don't know. He was like really cool Inquisitor, and like, was he truly like Night Sister magic, or like, you know, what really is he? But now I'm like, I don't know if I need to get that, because it's hard to justify those characters at sometimes. But then you get these two, and it's like, now he's a really, really awesome companion piece to these two, you know, and he looks cool. It's kind of a bonus. Let's see. Yeah, X-Man says, I watched all of Clone Wars and Rebels shortly after season 7 was released a couple years ago. It's worth watching. Absolutely. Bad Batch is really good too. Bad Batch season 3 right now is it's really good. This season's going to be a really good one. I feel like it's going to be awesome. So if you haven't watched Bad Batch, it's
and that's the one
awesome show.
And that's the one thing with when people are talking about Star Wars, when they're talking about the Clone Wars and stuff, I want to watch it just so I can kind of get in on the conversation a little bit, because right now, like, it's kind of over my head, some of the stuff, you know.
Sure.
You know, again, if people are talking about the trilogies and different stuff like that, I can talk about it all day, or the shows I've seen. But man, everybody's always talking about Clone Wars and stuff, so I'm like, yeah, I know I'm missing out. So I'll be checking it out.
Yep. There's a lot of resources. I can hook you up. Yeah, Funky Cold Santa says, I think Disney made an essentials list too. Yeah, like essentials, what to watch before Ahsoka and stuff. I think they have some of that stuff on Disney Plus.
Nice.
X-Man says, if I get Rex, it'll be the earlier one with the head sculpt. That's the thing. You can get Rex 35% off right now on Sideshow Phase 2 with a head sculpt, or you can get this Phase 1 or Phase 2 look with a little bit of updates in the armor, and you're paying more, and you're not even getting a head sculpt. So like, yeah, a lot of people are going to want to go back and get the, you know, the 35% off one, you know, and to get a really awesome head sculpt. I have mine displayed with the, you know, with the head sculpt on, helmet off. Christian says Ezra's for sure coming. I think it's a safe bet at this point that Ezra's going to happen. I do think so. X-Man says, I'm not getting Marok, Rex, Maudlaurin, or Thrawn, and I'm still sweating a little. Yeah. And then he also says they still haven't properly announced that Death Trooper. Yeah, they showcased it. I would think that one's probably going to get announced at some point. Ooh, we got a new name. I'm going to guess this is pronounced like Hoonigan.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which doesn't that mean like I see a car. Doesn't that mean like you're like a reckless person? I don't know. That's why I think I might be right. But good to see you, Hoonigan. Thank you for tuning into the show for the first time, I think, unless you've been lurking, but appreciate you tossing a comment in here. I have both Sideshows Phase 1 and 2 Rex. Excited for everyone to get a newer version of both. Yeah, no doubt. Always welcome getting more clones for sure. Thrawn's office's Marok will never be 2.0. Nope. Chopper might never be made again. Yeah. It's crazy. It is crazy. Brad says costumes are awesome. And then we got Caleb Collects in the house. What is up, Caleb? Thank you for tuning in, bro. Good to see you in the chat. Jose says, I want to get Ahsoka the White, but I don't know if I keep my Mando Ahsoka. Yeah, so this is an interesting one. For me personally, and this is what I could just talk about this all night, but when you watch Clone Wars and you see the arc of Ahsoka throughout her transition from becoming Anakin's Padawan and to everything that happens with that, she's literally like, she's not an adult going into war, basically going to war, and Anakin's trying to teach her stuff. Like, she's just going through a bunch of shit when she's young. And then, you know, everything that happens with her in the Jedi Order. And then she has this look in Mando Ahsoka. I will not get rid of my Mandalorian Ahsoka, because to me, it's like that interpretation of her. She was like that at that certain point for a reason. And that part of her arc is like really important to her overall character, and something that I really like. Like, I've always said this too, is she's one of the best written characters in Star Wars. She's got one of the most complete, best arcs of any character if you've seen all of her stuff. But then you get this transition of she was like that because of what you see in Ahsoka, everything that she held on to, right? All the baggage that she carried along, because she never felt like she got closure with Anakin because of, you know, what he became. So then you get the transition of obviously her into this new outfit. So for me, having both representations in my collection is important. But at the same time, I can see why a lot of people would think that answer is way too much for them. And they just be like, you know what? I just want one interpretation of the character. Give me the newest one, and the newest one head sculpt significantly better. So like, I could see people just saying like, yeah, I don't want my Mando Ahsoka anymore. I just want this new one, which looks significantly better. I'm really hoping that I can somehow modify it. I know the Leku is a little bit different and like her headpiece, but I'm going to see if I can put that screaming skull potentially on my Mando Ahsoka. We'll see. Well, we shall see. Justin, you have anything to add to that as far as Mando Ahsoka versus Ahsoka the White with the white or the white version?
I mean, I don't have one yet, so I'm going to get the one Ahsoka the White. But if you would have asked me like when Mando was going on, I would have probably said I'd be happy with that one. Like if I would already have that one, I'm kind of with Steve. Like I think I'd probably keep it because I really loved her scenes in Mando. Like I really did. Like she was great. And a lot of like memorable scenes in that show when I was like just watching it and just loving it had her in it. So I'm with you, Steve. I think I would, if I already had it, I would keep it. If I don't have either one and I wanted one, I personally would go with Ahsoka the White.
Yeah, I think the newer one is definitely the one. If I could only choose one, like that, just the head sculpt alone is a really significant update. X-Man Supreme says Bad Batch goes hard. It does. It's so good in the character development. It's just such a well-written show, and the character development for all of them. And also like you have one voice actor who does everything, all the different characters, you know, so it's just crazy how that is a thing too. But yeah, it's just the character development. That show is really good. Season 3, it's really, really good. I'm just really digging it. So yes, Bad Batch. Thrones Off says the sabers in the accessory shop for both figures are really bright. Yeah, it's Photoshop. They haven't made orange yet. Would be cool if they paint. It would be really cool if they did like fluorescent paint on these to make them look like they're lit up. The one thing that I think about is like, and Justin, you know this too, like how the Mark III base, the Ironmonger eyes are painted.
Yes.
Where it looks like they're lit up without it being plugged in or anything, without it having a light. They should just paint all the lightsabers like that. I don't
100%,
like
man.
If they did that, I would be totally happy with that. If they just painted the blades like a fluorescent kind of brightness like that, so you don't even have to light them up. I would be
because nobody
with that.
Because it seems like nobody's getting, like people are replacing them anyway, or they're not just like with my Kylo. I don't even bother plugging that lightsaber in. It doesn't give off enough of anything. And I'm kind of, me and you've talked about this, Steve, like when I buy a figure, like I'm kind of wanting it to be final. Like I don't really want to have to go get a bunch of different parts and pay more money on top of like a $300 figure. I kind of want it to be looking great out of the box and me to put it on the shelf and it be a day, you know? So I'm totally with you, man. That was a good point you made on that base, because that looks really good.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be really cool if they did that. They change that up.
Yeah.
And now they have the USB sabers, which are lackluster as well. They're not great, so you might as well just go get a CCFL at this point, which I'm getting my first CCFL lightsaber for that Darth Vader, the Kenobi Vader.
Doesn't that shock you though, Steve? Like how, to me, that would be like the accessory is for a Jedi or a Sith or whatever. Like you got to have that looking good. I'm shocked with how good these figures look. I'm shocked they don't make those look better. Like it's
crazy they can't get the light brighter. And I think really what it is like, they're like, well, these are battery powered. Let's just use the same technology that we already have inside of there, but let's just plug it. Let's just make it so it's a plug-in. It's the same exact thing. It's just plug it in with USB so you don't have to put batteries in it. It's just, it just doesn't. I don't put batteries in any of that stuff. You know?
And that's why I'm nervous about that Mace Windu coming, because that you're talking about like a lightsaber really making a character. I mean, you know, his lightsaber, if it doesn't look great, I'm going to be, I mean, I already know it's not going to, but I'm going to be a little disappointed in that. Like that's a lightsaber that really sticks out on the shelf. Like you could see that purple lightsaber and know exactly who that belongs to, you know?
He's going to, he's going to be one I'm going to have to get a CCFL saber for too,
I
think.
Me too. I've never gotten one, but you'll have to tell me where to get, like, I got to get one for Mace.
Yeah. I can hook you up. They ain't cheap though.
Well, never mind then. Got too much coming. No, I'm kidding.
Thrawn's off says, I hope someone makes a Rebels costume for us to use on Ezra. Yeah, I think it'd be cool. Like, just give us, like, if they gave us that version of him, I think that'd be awesome. Hoonigan says, Bad Batch is fire. Great continuation of Clone Wars, filling the gaps with good stories. Yeah, so, like, so there's Bad Batch, but, like, the start of Clone Wars Season 7, like, I think it's the first 3 or 4 episodes, maybe, is a Bad Batch. It's, like, the introduction to the Bad Batch. So that's really cool. Thrawn's off says that the faceplates are interchangeable. I'll trade someone my Rosario face for your Mando not Rosario face. I prefer it. Interesting. I don't think the faceplates are going to be interchangeable because she has like those like kind of the shape is a little bit different, and she has like those kind of like holes for her ears, and then like the way that the headpiece is, it sits a little bit. It's just I forget exactly what like the specifics of why it's different, but I don't know if it's going to match up. I'm going to try to like unglue mine. I think the yelling head sculpt, I think I'm going to try and see if I can. Yeah. Cause the one downside is you can't just, I think the head will fit, but I think the downside is like, you can't just like the headpiece is different. You know, she has like a new tiara, so to speak, headdress piece when she has like the new outfit. So it's going to probably be a project.
I like the stoic look for me, the Ahsoka kind of stoic look or whatever. I prefer that. That's probably what I'll use. But yeah, I think that I've heard a couple people kind of, you know, I've seen mixed reactions on that that screaming face or that battle face or whatever you're talking about with this new one. So yeah.
But I think that one would look cool on the Mando one. Hoonigan says next to Anakin, Ahsoka has one of the best character arcs. She does. Obi-Wan has the best one though in my mind. Not biased at all. Jose says, I do love the Ahsoka outfit for Mandalorian, so we'll see. Yeah. Got a decision to make. X-Men says, how you figure after you finish Clone Wars, you're going to want the Clone Wars Ahsoka. That figure I still don't have. I still need to get that one. Going for a well under retail, so at some point.
That's what I'm worried about, X-Men, is the more shows I watch, the more figures I want.
Yeah.
That's That's why Star Wars, man, is just a gold mine. It's like just a gold mine.
It sure is. And this is a great time to be a fan.
Yep.
Thrawn's off says, yeah, D. Bradley Baker is crazy talented. It's crazy. If you watch some videos of him he's the one who voices the Bad Batch characters. Like you watch some videos of him going back and forth between the different characters. Like it's just crazy. He voices all of them. It's just wild. And then he says, yeah, just paint the damn sabers. He's thinking about painting them himself. Yeah, I know you can. I know it can be done, but I don't want to have to like do that to my blade. You know, it's just, do not want to do that. Let's see here. Stacy says, I really like the base for Ahsoka the White. I wish they did this for all figures. It doesn't need much, but still adds so much. It really does. I say this all the time. I love the base that comes with her. It's really simple, but actually adds like some character to the figure. You know what I mean? Just more so rather than just a rectangle. Just so, this plain rectangle that's used for so many figures. I agree. Hayden Collect says, where do you get CCFLs? There's a guy on Instagram. A lot of people get them from, and the one I'm getting mine from is Chris's Custom Sabers on Instagram. He's a good person to go through. You don't even need to give him your hilt. He like buys hilts. So like he has the hilts and everything. So you don't need a lot. Sometimes like with CCFLs, you have to like mail the person your hilt that comes with the figure. And then they have to like drill it out and stuff. Cause like once it's in there, you can't take it out. So you like, if you want to do an unbladed, like just a hilt look, you can't really do it unless you have another hilt. Let's see here. Another channel member, the movie canon, is in the house. Hello, Sneaker, Justin, and Collectors. What's up, Gio? Thank you for Thank you for tuning in, bro. Good to see you in here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Brad says Chris makes great sabers. Oh, look at that. And then we got Jose in Thrawn's office doing some wheeling and dealing in the chat.
Let's go.
Oh, yeah. I always like seeing some deals happen.
That's what Star Wars does, man. You start talking about a BAYLAN Skull, and now you're talking about every property, so
yep.
It's awesome.
Yep. But any last final thoughts on BAYLAN here?
The only last thought I'll say is I'm for sure pre-ordering this one tonight, and I would say if you really like this character, I would definitely like. If I was for me personally, I think it's an essential figure in the line. That's my opinion on it. Like, you know, I don't know if you agree with that, Steve, but for
Oh,
me,
I 100% agree. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
like this show is drastically, to me, it's just not having him and Shin in the show is just like, what does the show look like? It was just such a refreshing, cool, unique thing to have two great new characters. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That everybody was really excited to see. And I was just, really happy with how they both turned out.
me too.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. And then we switch it over to Shin Hati, which, like I said, you can't have Balin and no Shin, and you can't have Shin without Balin when it comes to the release. Like, you have to release them both. And this is really tough. So the poll is still going for nobody who, or if you haven't voted yet in the poll, please do. After we talk about Shin, I'm going to talk about, are you picking up Balin or Shin? Or both. So Balin only, Shin only, both, or neither. This would be really tough for me personally to only get, it would be really hard to only get one. One scenario, I guess you could get one is like if like Shin and Sabine, when they're fighting, if like you don't really want Balin, maybe, but it's just like, yeah, it's just really tough, really tough.
And you've been saying from the beginning, Steve, you were always saying these are going to be announced together. I remember like every time I'd message you and I'd be like, you know, because I was just, these were the two I really wanted to get announced. And I was like, what are you thinking? You said it's going to be all or nothing. And I think you were right. I think it was going to be all or nothing with these characters. And so I'm so glad that they released them both at the same time. And I think that them doing that kind of tells you like, I really do feel like you need both, man. I know that just sounds like a collector thing to say, but you're going to see a picture here in a minute, but they look so good next to each other. Like they look awesome next to each other.
It's crazy. Like when you talk about them too, you just say like Balin and Shin, like they're just together. You know what I mean? You know, it's they're just together. Yeah. Hey, thanks for the kind words that you just said about me saying that I had said that
from day one, man. From day one.
I was hopeful, tried to be hopeful and really wanted these. Some of that is hope, but I just felt like this show, you got to have these two for this show. You got to have these two. Let's see here. Oh, you're hyping up the chat. Hoonigan says, I pre-ordered both Balin and Shin. Yes, nice. Christian says, you definitely need both. The movie canon says, the Ahsoka line has been the best looking one I've seen so far. Wow, dang. It's a high praise. All, if not most, of the figures have been beautiful. They have not missed. They have yet to miss in this line. There has not been one figure where it's like, like this is okay. Every single one of these figures that they've come out with has been a banger.
And I guarantee you, everyone that's seeing these figures come out that didn't watch the show or maybe watched it and kind of were mixed on it, guarantee you with how great these figures are coming out, they're probably revisiting the show or maybe even picking it up and watching it. Like I feel like that's how good
me to watch the show.
Oh, 100%, man.
Yeah. Like if I saw Balin and Shin and had not seen this show on the outside looking in and I was like a fan to like any extent, I'd be like, whoa, like who are these characters? Like this looks really awesome. But yeah, I agree. This line is shaping up to like I potentially be like one of their best lines, you know, potentially ever. It's crazy. Topic for another conversation. I would have to really think about that. Brad says must have both.
Yep.
Christian says I thought it was going to be the No Way Home line, but they have a lot of misses. Yeah, there's some people who are really rightfully so. There's a lot of people who are really critical about the figures in that line. And also we say this now because I know No Way Home, all those are released and now people are like, they have the figures in hand and they're evaluating it from that perspective. But I remember when all of those were announced and stuff, a lot of people were really hyped. And then, more issues when people like started getting them. And then there's the first batch problem with the Toby head sculpt and just all this stuff. But, as of right now, the prototypes are holding solid. I really hope the prototypes don't drop off a ton in quality for these. Hopefully hopefully it will hold when they release them.
Yeah.
Hoonigan says the Ahsoka line has been the best looking so far, in my opinion. Why you grab them or not? Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this line ends up when we talk about it like a year from now.
Get used to looking at these photos.
Yeah.
That's all you're gonna have for a while.
Look at these photos for the next year. You get the floor, man. You get your first go again.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna slowly scroll through the photos here as we go. You can let me know too if there's photos that you want me to stop at or anything too. Just let me know. I can stop and
exactly.
Or if you say, hey, if you want to let me know if there's a certain photo you want to talk about, let me know. I'll just go through them.
And that's on me too, Steve, because the picture I told you to look at was the second to last photo. So I kind of remember the order of these a little bit, but
oh no, it's fine. I can go backwards. You want me to go backwards?
Yeah, so go to the one that shows everything just real quick, because I want to point out the hands. Yeah, because I just want to point out the hands real quick. That's kind of what I was talking about. There's less hands with her, which isn't a big deal to me. I don't really. To me, it's like if I get 2 sets of hands, I'm kind of happy. I do like though, because I saw this with the Han Solo figure coming out. Whenever that comes out, I do like having the options of hands though, because I do think that freshens up your display. So we can go to a different picture, but I just wanted to point that out real quick so people kind of knew what I was talking about earlier with that.
Yeah, it is crazy. Like how many? Yeah, what did we say for Balin? He might have 13 hands or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's got a couple extra sets.
Yeah. So whatever picture you want, man, I can. Yeah. So right there, I could talk about that one, because I love that one right there. You can see one of those hands really right there. I love that. I think that I'm just picturing her and Sabine right now, like, staring, about to get into a battle. But like the thing I like most about the figure, and I'm just going to keep saying it, it's the eyes and it's the costume. Like I'm happy with the head sculpt on this. I know some people, I do think the Balin head sculpt is the stronger of the two. Out of the 2 figures, I think the Balin one is stronger. With that said, her costume design, just like Balin, I love it. Like, I love the costume designs. Like, to me, that's where I'm going to be focused on. And if I'm really unhappy with the sculpt when it comes out, just throw that hood on, man. You just throw that hood on, and it looks awesome. I mean, I just think that
this is cool pose.
Yeah,
this
dude.
Is badass right here.
I mean, it's just, you see what I'm saying with the eyes though, Steve? Like, is that just me being a new collector? Or?
Dude, no, I say this for every figure that they put these rolling eyes on. I always say, man, rolling eyes just like changes the game for some of these expressions. You know what I mean? And some head sculpts is better than others too. You notice this like as you get deeper into collecting, but some head sculpts, all angles of the eyes, they look really, really good. And just the head sculpt is spot on for all the different eye angles. And some of them you're like, this angle doesn't look as good. Like that'll happen sometimes.
And if you're into photography, and I just want to shout out Zord Photography, man. I saw that Spider-Man photo he did today. So again, Zord, I'm going to shout out Zord, man. If you're not following Zord,
it's his birthday today too. Go wish my dude a happy birthday.
Those dudes' photos are incredible, man. But anyway, for somebody that's like, maybe he does a lot of stuff that's like kind of like a whole diorama or whatever. But for people like that really want to do photography, I feel like they're going to love these rolling eyeballs, like in all their, because you can do so much different stuff with it. But I'll throw it over to you, Steve, because I'm going to kind of repeat myself. But I think for me, the version I want, I really like having the hood on. I like that one you showed where it's kind of, you could still see her hair, because I feel like her hair is like a huge part of her character. And so I want to kind of show that off, but I also do like having the hood about halfway on, so you can still see the hair and you have that kind of more menacing look. So
yeah, this is crazy eyes, man. That's crazy. With the rolling eyes. Like, just look at her sculpt here versus like this look captures her likeness maybe to me a little bit better than this one. Also though, the lighting on her face is a lot different here.
Yes. Like
this is washed out a little bit in her face. You can just see the darker. So like, that's another thing is we talk about these, like, the photos are not like, sometimes they do really well in the photos too, but this coloring in this photo is different. Even the saturation a little bit in her hair is a little bit different with this photo. And I think some of it is because she's got her, like the hood right here too, versus you can see her clothes, but the coloring is a little bit different. But yeah, when I first saw this, I was like, oh my, like this, I thought it was rooted. I think this was the first picture I saw and I was like, oh damn, like they rooted this figure. that's crazy. Like, what is it actually rooted, or is it like the kind of like the Catwoman rooted hair? But then I looked closer and I was like, oh no, it's sculpted. So like, if I think this is a rooted hair, like this is really good sculpted hair. The coloring in her hair is really nice too. You know, you have like her roots, you have just these like, they could have just done washed out highlights all the way through, you know what I mean? But they put some effort into actually coloring the hair. Yeah, rolling eyeballs, just capturing both expressions. I think this likeness is really, it's just really on point too. This though, I think this was the one that you were talking about. Dude, yeah, this is really dope.
Come on, Steve. Come on, man. And that's just them with, you know, they got their hilt, like the lightsabers aren't drawn. You can really see, this is a great photo for Baylan too, showing off those proportions we talked about. I mean, look at the presence that he has. And then like I said, these two just go together. Like they show up on the first episode together, have an iconic scene there. The costumes just complement each other so well, dude. Like, I'm trying to find something to kind of, I don't want to just keep hyping it up. I'm trying to find something that I can be like, well, you know, that and that. But honestly, man, just based on these prototypes, they look so good. They look so good to me. And I'm trying to find something. I guess the only thing I could say is that I'm with you on the hair. That hair has to come out looking good. Because just like we talked about with certain things with Baylan, Shin, to me, her hair has to be on point. That's like her big draw as a character, like from a character design perspective, character design. So I'm with you on that. That if the hair comes out looking this good, then we got a good figure on our hands here.
Yeah, when I was thinking about when they were gonna not like before they announced this figure, like, yeah, how are they gonna do the hair for this and make it look good? But I think they did a nice job. Thrawn's off says someone's gonna have to explain how the damn probe droid will float. Oh man. Jose says if you have an issue with this sculpt, you should see what the Black Series figure looked like. Oh yeah, that's my Black
Steve knows about that.
Oh yeah, I know all about that. Yeah, I remember I used to think their face scan technology was incredible. Like, oh my god, the likeness is so on point. And then you go to Hot Toys and you're like, yeah, a lot different.
And it does suck a little bit because like now I go down those aisles, I see these figures that I used to want so badly, and now that I'm collecting the Hot Toys and all this stuff, like it's kind of disheartening because you just can't go back, man. Yeah, that's why it's such a dangerous thing to get into,
dude. I know, it's really yeah. X-Men says I want to point out again because a lot of people seem to be missing. Han Solo only shows 7 hands in the promo images, so they're just showing the back and palm flipped over on the bottom. So are you saying like on the top row they're showing is he saying like the top they're showing the like the top surface of the hand and then it's flipped over on the bottom line?
That's what I put in the comment. I said, great point if that's what he's talking about, because
is that what's happening with these hands? It's really hard to see. I don't think I can really zoom in either.
That's a great point though. Flipped. X-Man, if that's what it is.
That's what it is, yeah. Either way, I'm not really too worried about the amount of hands they're coming with. It'll be fine. Stacey says I think they nailed her figure too. Her proportions perfectly match the actress. Did I already read this comment? I know I had it up. I forget if I read it or not.
Regardless, I agree, Stacey.
Yes. I agree too. Sometimes I forget if I read comments because I just read a lot of comments. So I apologize if I already read that one. But yeah, this picture looks really awesome.
Yes.
Yeah, I really like what they did here with like I said, the fabric, right? Like you just get this, like the fabric down low is really cool too. But yeah, this fabric up here is really nice with the chest pieces. Of how they did it, and like, yeah, proportionally they just look really good next to each other, exactly how you'd want them to look. This is a badass photo right here.
I was just about to say that, dude.
Give me a different base for this photo. We don't need this base.
What base do you want with, let's just stick with these two characters so don't go on like I could go on a rant, like a whole other thing, but with these two characters, what would you like to see that's not a deluxe base so it doesn't increase that cost, but that could be unique to them?
It would have been cool to see any type of base other than this one. It would have been cool. It would have been cool if they did a rounded base for this and maybe did like a seat, you know, like on CTOS where they're at like the map, like that type of flooring with like all the lines, the map lines on it. Something like that would have been cool. They could have done like a really cool forest one for Shin, with just like, you know, that red color of the forest and like what they had, and just like, you know, they could have just done something a little bit like that would have been really cool if they did like the forest, or Just some type of different thing than this one. But again, I get it at the same time. You want these two to also match. So you want Balin and Shin probably to have a similar matching base too. But it's just, yeah. Just, I really wish they would have done a different one, but that's okay. This will work out fine. But like
a base that I want to start seeing that I think you're kind of referring to without going that full, and this one might be a deluxe, but that new Iron Man that's coming out like in 2025, it's the, I think it's the Mark II maybe.
Yeah, the Mark II 2.0.
It's like a cylinder base.
It's an arc reactor. It's Tony Stark's. Yeah, it's arc.
But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of subtle in a way. Like it's not just in your face like this huge display, like the Sandman base from the new Spider-Man movie. But
it's like the new Han Solo base that they're coming out with, like in the 3PO one. Yeah, that would have been a good choice. I wish they would have done the rounded one. Yeah, like the matte floor base, like what Brad's saying here. Yeah, like that's what I was talking about on CTOS, where like that matte floor would have been really cool to do. Just to capture a little bit more from the show, but I get it. I do get it. Yeah, some type of rock or stone base would have really looked good. Just a literal, make it look like gravelly or something, or just to kind of capture the different scenery that they were in. You know what I mean? I think that's cool. X-Man says there's that rock diorama setup that Kit has up. Yeah, he put up that Inart one, that rock base. That thing ain't cheap though. $120, I'm pretty sure, is what the price is on it. That would be really cool to put like Balin on. That would be badass. Damn it. I read that. Forget I read it.
I love the way the fighting styles of Shin as opposed to Balin. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like a shield dagger type of fighting style, where she's kind of in there. He's more just solid, almost like defensive posture. Yeah, man. And I just think that when you have that on your shelf, even moving the characters a little bit to show that in your display adds so much personality to it. And that's kind of what I'm trying to get better at, is like, how do I capture that character? It already looks like the character, but how do I capture that little bit of personality in there as well? So
yeah, 100%. Yeah. X-Man Supreme says, or just pet store rocks. Dude, underrated pet store rocks. You can get some cool stuff for a significantly lower price. MB Dyson's in the house. What is up? Thank you so much for tuning in. So many figures they could have had interconnecting bases to build a huge diorama. Yeah, they really could have, but it's more work. It's more time they have to put into it. They already had to put a bunch of time in it. Like, I'm not making excuses for them, but I'm sure that's kind of probably how they look at it, of like, let's just throw in the base we already have. Unfortunately, it's weird they're picky and choosy, with different whatever they do with the bases, but nevertheless, this is a cool picture. I love how they did the wired hoods for both of these as well, because sometimes they can kind of miss on the hoods too, where they're not really like wired, but they did really these hoods on both Balin and Shin are both awesome. Their armor pieces are just so nicely weathered and stuff too, and painted. Like I said, the gauntlets on Balin are cool. Hers are, very similar in that way too. Both of their lightsaber hilts are really awesome just in general. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is a crazy one like this for both of them to be announced and like this locked in. Like they really, really locked this in. This is sick right here.
That's my favorite. I was gonna say that's my favorite shot right there. Yeah, that's what I was when I talked about it in my the video. I
do this.
That's the one I said. Like I was like, this is the one I want. That's the pose I want and everything.
Yeah, I might have to do this. I might have to do this one.
Yeah,
the hood up. But yeah, this rolling eyes looks really good. This is badass too. It's kind of like just straight on. Look what you did. And there's a floating droid, baby. I feel like you kind of see,
How do they achieve that? I have
no clue how they ever would do such a thing. Then they talk kind of about the fabric in here. This is kind of like, I guess we don't know exactly what type of fabric this is going to be, but hopefully it holds up. But hopefully it looks like you can kind of pose these however you want.
Yeah, it just looks so good, man. It looks
any other things you want to say about this one?
I think everything's been said. I just want to echo that These figures look really good together. And I have no like collect how you want to collect, but if you're really wanting to get the Ahsoka line and you're kind of like me and you want to make it focus more on the live action show like I am, just because you might not want to get everything and you're trying to figure out, I feel like if say you're getting 4 or 5 figures, for me personally, it's just my opinion, Balin and Shin are vital in that 5-figure setup or whatever it is you can get. So I can't wait to have them. I think both of them complement each other extremely well. The costume design, that's my favorite thing so far. That and the eyes. So yeah.
Yeah, man, looks awesome. Looks awesome. Really excited. Really excited about both of them. X-Men says it's going to be so much fun going back through the show to pick out poses for these figures. Yes. AJ says it really is odd. Some have awesome ones and others not so much. Yeah, the base is just weird. Oh my goodness, we have a $5 super chat.
Wow.
Is this you? Is this from you? Is this from you or is this from is this from someone else? Someone take over.
I guess somebody took over, man.
This man, Justin, with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, bro. I'm looking right at you as I say this because you're actually on my live stream as you dropped a super chat. And he says, I'm having a great time. Do we need to roll the super wheel? Is this...
You don't got to roll the super wheel. I just...
okay. How about I owe you a super wheel?
Okay, deal. This was the 10th. I noticed this when I was doing it. It was like my 10th super chat. So I was like, let's make this special. When he asked me to come on the show, I was like, I'm going to make this special.
Look at that.
Yeah, man.
What a guy, man. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate you.
That and also said and you also said, hey, if you want to come on the show, you got to do a $5 super chat. And I said, all right, I guess I'll do that. But
I gatekeep all my guests. They must pay. They must pay.
He really is the evil sneaker.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, no problem, man. But
no,
for
thank
real,
you so much, man. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I'm having a great time as well. And X-Man says she got those hungry eyes. Okay, before we go away from Balin and Shin, let's get to the poll. I'll end this poll here. Are you picking up Balin and Shin? Let me see. Both 63%. Neither 26%. And then less than 10% of people, 6% Balin only, Shin only 3%. So a couple people picking up just maybe one or the other, which is cool.
26% neither, and y'all are watching this show. That's awesome though. Like and that's what's so cool is even if you're not picking them up, people seem to be appreciating the product that Hot Toys put out with this line. So that's cool.
Yep, 63% both. So a lot of I think there's gonna be a lot of hype around these ones, and I cannot wait until they come out in 2025. Because I'm pretty sure it's 2025. I think it's January to June, which honestly, it's a long wait. It's a long wait, but at the same time, I'm so capped right now. Like I don't want any other 2024s.
I'm with you. And enjoy. And I say this a lot, Steve. Oh, hey, Boba Fettuccine.
What's up, Boba Fettuccine? What's up, bro?
I enjoy the hype though. I always talk about this with like movies you're looking forward to, shows you're looking forward to. I know we want everything right now, and trust me, man, I get that, but enjoy the hype. Like that's the stuff you're gonna remember. I truly believe that. Like for me, the hype, us talking about these figures like this, me and Steve talking about this on his stream, that's gonna make the figure actually, when these two figures come out, that's a story I have now with these two figures. Like, so enjoy the hype, man, because that's what's fun about collecting is like all of us, coming together and getting excited about this thing, these figures and these characters and these shows. So.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what developments we have with season 2 when these ones roll around.
Oh man. Oh yeah. Already see that's the scary thing about collecting, man. Is we're just in season 1. Mandalorian has what, like 40 figures now? Like
I think they're close to 40 now. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. Yep. I feel bad,
and
Steve. I feel bad for you that.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I know that you're gonna have a tough time, but I mean, again, I'm with you. Even though it's a long wait, it's good. Sometimes waiting is good with all these awesome figures we got coming. We need a little bit of time to.
Yeah, I think this line. I think like we talk about how many figures are we going to get from this line. The line is just going to keep going. Like it's going to just keep, because this line probably will, like, I guess even if they stop announcing stuff for it, we're probably going to be pretty close to season 2. Like I think there might be figures that are potentially coming out from this line, like as season 2 drops that are being released at the time potentially. It's gonna be interesting to see how that happens, depending on how far some of these figures get pushed out into 2025 and like when Ahsoka season 2 is coming out. But it's gonna be like not a huge time probably in between, or pretty close. So we'll have to see. Boba says this entire line is absolutely amazing. Yes, it is.
That's the consensus, man. I feel like I haven't heard anybody say like, man, this Ahsoka line sucks. Like everybody
ass.
Yeah. Everybody seems to, even if I see so many people say like, not for me, but man, Ahsoka, I saw somebody say, I can't remember, but they're like, Ahsoka fans are eating good right now. That's exactly. Yeah. If you're a huge Ahsoka fan, man, you are over the moon about these releases. So
Yep. 100%. All right. That is all for the Star Wars talk. I can't believe we're already an hour and 24 minutes in. You got time? You got some time to talk about
dude, I got this is my plans for tonight, man. I got all the time in the world.
All right.
These are my plans, man.
We might have a 3-hour one.
Let's go, man. I'm having a great time chatting with you, buddy.
Yeah, let's keep it rolling. I'm going to transition us kind of over. You're going to see a little zoom, but we're going to go over to Paul Atreides from Inart. A change of pace here. I might actually hold on one second. What I might do is hold on. Because I want to go through the photos and talk about it, but I kind of want to talk a little bit about the pre-order stuff. Okay, hold on.
We will not be spoiled. If you haven't seen the movie, you can stay in the chat. Like we're not gonna. I just want to make like I'm that way with movies. Like if I'm worried somebody's gonna spoil it, we're not. Don't worry if you haven't seen Dune Part 2. I mean, this figure's based on the first Dune anyway, but we're not gonna spoil the movie or anything. So don't worry.
Yep. Yes, that's a good point. So I just want to talk about a little bit before. I just want to bring this up because there's a couple things I just want to talk about in general as far as pre-ordering the figure. There was a lot of hype around this, right? One of the first times, well, it is the first time that Inart has done granted they haven't done a bunch of figures, but they're doing this globally licensed product, and they're doing direct shipping from, Inart themselves. So this is something that Inart kind of talked about. John from Inart, he's kind of like their, one of their, the people that works for them who goes on live streams and stuff. And he was talking about, we'd like to do direct shipping where you can just get, stuff shipped right from us rather than having to go through, because right now before you had to go through resellers to get stuff basically. So this is really nice, like ordering direct from the company. We're going to talk about it. So this is like the prices on these are steep prices. So let me just go real quick. I want to go back to, you guys should be able to see, but so we have the standard version sculpted, not something that interests me, but I'm sure there's some people who are getting sculpted. So you have full payment, $360, full payment on the sculpted. Or you can do they have these NRDs, $70. And then going back to the deluxe, the rooted, which is, they both look pretty good, but the rooted for me is just looks amazing. Look at this add to cart button just bouncing on my screen. This thing is, watch this. It's got a little add to cart animation on here, like buy me.
Don't leave this webpage. Is literally
bouncing on the screen. Yeah. So there's a lot of hype. Like I said, I want to talk about just the process of what your mindset was. I'm going to address a couple comments in the chat. You can think about it for a second before you answer. I'll talk to the chat, or pull up the comments, but I want to hear kind of just what your mindset was. Cause you're kind of I guess, when was the first time you saw this figure?
Dude, a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah. Okay. So they showed a prototype a while back they were doing this figure. There's a prototype, but then there was rumor, the movie's going to come out and then they're going to actually announce it for pre-order. So there was a prototype back at, I think it was, it was at one of these conventions or something that I forget what it was. I think it was one in Shanghai. I forget, but they showed a prototype of this. So people kind of knew that this was coming, but then the pre-order, the movie's been getting a ton of hype. What a great time to drop a pre-order on a figure, because the hype is just super, super high. So just think about I'm going to ask what was your mindset when you saw this, and kind of what your process was deciding whether or not you were going to get it. Hayden says he's been waiting for this all night. MB Dyson says pass for me on Dune figures. Yeah, I know some. I'm not surprised people are passing. X-Man says I'm not doing Dune, but I just want to point out how this guy has motorcycle gloves and knuckles on his sleeve cuffs, and I don't understand it. Yeah, that's definitely accurate to his suit. I wonder if it has something to do with like when he's fighting and he like blocks stuff, but why not have just like a pad right there? I don't know. It's a great question. I don't know exactly what that is. There's probably an answer somewhere. Bubba says, I'm not collecting Doom, but damn, they knocked it out of the park with this one. Inart is killing it. Dude, their figures they've all been pretty much bangers. And like, yeah, Gandalf is not one I was interested in. Pennywise was not one I was interested in, but you can't help but just admire the look. And that 4-pack Joker. I'm not getting Joaquin Phoenix Joker, but incredible looking figures. Hayden says, I ordered the deluxe. Can't wait for the mouse. It will be my first rooted figure, so I'm excited. Nice. Congratulations, man. First rooted figure. That's a big deal. Big deal.
Oh, yeah.
This guy's getting his own section in my display. That's for sure. Yeah, he's going to be nice, like,
dude.
That's another thing. If you're not getting into the AUG toys, if that's how you say it, or AUG toys, I'm guessing it's just AUG toys, but I'm not 100% certain on that. They have a few figures that are coming out that are also licensed, but yeah, this one is probably the only one that I'm going to be getting. AJ says this figure looks absolutely fantastic. I like Dune, but not enough to get a figure from it. Super pumped for those getting this. So yeah, I can see why people are not getting this. Thrawn's off says we're selling directly to the customer to pass the savings on to absolutely nobody. Yeah, this is a steep price. The good thing is that, sorry, Justin, I know I said I would get to you.
No, dude, no.
So I want to go. So this is one thing. So on here, if you go to this ships worldwide and you click on this, like I just clicked on it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of us in the United States, if you go on here, dude, this is what I was worried about. And I didn't see this until after I ordered the figure. Not gonna lie, I was a little concerned. I'm like, okay, this is gonna be shipping from overseas. I get that it's like a global release, but like, is this going to ship direct from them, like from China? Like, what's going to happen with this?
Yeah.
And then I shared this with you, I think shortly after I saw it, where it says customers in the US can enjoy flat rate domestic shipping. This is important. I think this is the way I interpreted this. Inart will cover costs of goods shipped from China to the USA. So you're not going to be getting the shipping cost that involves international shipping. And then it says US customers will be billed when the figure is in the US warehouse and is ready to ship. So that's an interesting thing too, is that they have a US warehouse that they're going to have the stuff that they have this in. So what does that mean for future figures too? Hopefully they will do more globally. The biggest thing is the hang up is the license. That's the hardest thing. But Warner Brothers is pretty liberal with their licenses. So, that's probably how they were able to get it. Shipping costs are expected to be between $10 and $20 USD. So that tells me they're going to just do a flat rate shipping within the US. $10 to $20 is probably their estimate based on like whatever they're going to ship it with. UPS, maybe FedEx. And then it says final cost may vary depending on future shipping rates. My interpretation is this final cost may vary is whatever the shipping rates are in the United States, if that fluctuates a little bit. So they're saying expected between 10 to 20 bucks. Maybe it could be a few dollars more or less depending on what shipping rates are at that time. Everything's just going up. So I think they're probably just covering themselves by saying maybe this is going to go up.
Yeah.
But no lie, I was worried about this potentially being like $50 to $75 tacked on to the price.
Mm-hmm.
But this is really good. It's coming from just going to go directly to a US warehouse and then get distributed. I think that is great. So hopefully full price, we're at $475. So it's going to fall just short of $500. It's a steep price. Thankfully you don't have to pay tax.
Yeah, and I think that I do like they made a point to put that flat rate shipping right there on that top right corner. So I definitely think they're going to honor that. Like you said, that's kind of a, hey, if prices on shipping go up, that's out of our control. We might have to charge a little bit more. I think that, again, I haven't owned an Inart figure. I've heard a lot of the discussions about the batch system, about the how long it takes for these figures to come in. I'm hoping Inart with this global license, maybe we actually get this figure. I think it says like first half of 2025 is the estimated date. I know that that's like a long shot. It's probably more towards the middle or the end of 2025. But I think if they could start getting these figures out when they say they're going to get them out, or at least close to when they say they're going to get out, I think that's the only complaint I hear with Inart figures for the most part is like the time, like how long it takes to get these in hand and the batch systems and all that stuff. So
Yeah, I think like it takes like a long time to make, which I can understand that. I don't think my issue isn't so much how long they're taking them to make. It's like when they're released, how long it's taking them to get out to people.
That's what I meant. Yes.
Yeah. That and yeah. Like and there's been some like this Batman still hasn't released, which granted they said it's after like once after Chinese New Year. It's going to release this month. That's the plan, is the Batman's going to release this month. But it's hard, like release doesn't really necessarily mean anything to me right now, because who knows when it's going to be actually shipping out to people. Like Gandalf is still going out to people, and it released so long, like a months ago. Pennywise released a while ago. You know, like people have had these in hand already for a while, but a lot of people still don't have them because it takes a lot of time. The another thing that would have been nice, I know it says flat rate shipping. It would have been nice to just like, instead of this ships worldwide, like put a thing on here that says like, click here for more information. Mm-hmm. Like just so you can get some more information on what potentially the price might be. Cause I had no idea. I'm like, oh great, this doesn't include shipping. How am I supposed to know like what really is going on here? But it worked out fine. I just took the risk. And then the last thing, exclusive bonus accessory with Little the Desert Mouse.
This is a big deal to me, man.
Yep. Yeah, this is really like when you watch a movie.
It is.
What's the is it the Muad'Dib? Is it the Muad'Dib?
Yep.
Yeah, mm-hmm. Yeah. So like, this is something that for me, I felt like, I know there's a lot of ways to order this figure. This is a really exclusive. We'll talk about this. I want to make this a talking point, but so the only way to get this is if you order from Inart Direct. That's really the only way. If you order from them direct, that's the only way that you get that accessory. So with that being said, Justin, why don't you take me through back to the question I asked you like 5 minutes ago? Yeah. You saw this a couple of weeks ago. Kind of give me your thoughts of like when you saw this and what your thought was, your thought process was as you went through this, and then you saw the movie. Like just kind of talk about how these past couple weeks have been for you since you've seen this leading up to today, and then what you decided to do.
Yeah, this is just the power of timing. And Steve said it a minute ago, brilliant time. Even though this is based on the first movie, the looks are similar enough in the two movies to where, and again, I told you I wouldn't talk anything about the second movie, so I'll hold to that. But the looks are similar enough to where this could work. I mean, like if you're hyped after seeing the second movie, there's not this huge difference of like, costume design, all this different stuff. There's enough there for fans that, if a Dune 2 figure came out, I'd probably be interested in that one as well. But my thought process was, I really liked it. I was always nervous about Inart because of the price. And I just, again, I don't have any experience with it. I'm just now learning the market and all this different stuff on, Hot Toys and, 3-0 and Sideshow and all this different stuff. So it's a lot at once, but I've always thought their figures looked beautiful. But I was like, but I was a little nervous, and then the movie came out. I loved it. And then again, perfect marketing, perfect timing. They sent these photos out to a lot of YouTubers. They sent this photo out to, on their own site, showed it off again. And me being hyped off the movie, I said, man, this is a figure I need now, because that movie, I really liked the first one. I loved the second one.
Yeah.
And so for me, I just had to have this one. I went with you, Steve. I went with the deluxe with the rooted, and I don't have a rooted figure yet either. I know Hayden Collects mentioned that earlier. By the time this comes out, I might have one, but as of right now, this is the one coming to my shelf. But the one thing that stung a little bit, the $90 down. Again, there was some 5% off coupons that are out there if you want to search for them. But that made that an $85 down. That one stung a little bit just because I know the figure won't be to me in a long time. But I was willing to do it for this because I was excited to hear about the global license. I was excited to hear it coming direct from the site. And I will say, if you're not super, if you don't have to have that accessory, there's a lot of people out there with some good deals. I know Brick has Brick has like a coupon code with someone that he shares on his page. I know
Collector's Zone.
Collector's Zone. So check that out as well. If you don't care about that, there's some good deals to be had out there to where you can get some nice percentage off of this figure. So make sure if you think you might want to get this, I would definitely look into that to save you a little bit of money. And that anything helps, Steve, with this figure going to be capping around 500. So, but that was my thought process, man. I don't, it was mainly the hype of the movie, how much I enjoyed it. It was just a perfect timing, a perfect storm. And I know that this is one of those movies that I'll be revisiting. And when the third one eventually comes out, I want to have that on my shelf when I'm getting hyped for that movie. So,
yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I really enjoyed I enjoyed the first movie when I watched it the first time. And then I watched it. Actually, I kind of like split it. Half of it I watched like the day before I saw the second one. And then the morning of that, I saw the second one. I watched the other half. So I was like really just honing in on what, like everything in the movie. I'm like, okay, like this is all leading up to what happens in the second one. Like I'm really focused on it. What all does this mean? Like I was just really intrigued knowing that I was going to see the second one. Like, okay, all this is going to have implications going into the second one. As opposed to a couple years ago when it came out and I watched it, I'm like, okay, this is basically like great introduction to the, to the story and where we're at the end of Dune one of the first movie. But like, obviously there's a lot more to tell here, right? That's kind of like the consensus. The movie visually, yes, cinematically, Dune 1 is amazing. And the storytelling is really good too. If you sit down and watch like 1 and 2 together, they're basically a movie together. You know what I mean? The third one's going to be like that too, a trilogy. It's just going to be like you're watching a one big giant movie. But yeah, I mean, after seeing the second one, it was one of the best movies I've seen for real. Like it's up there, one of the best, like one of my top movies that I've seen, whole like total package of everything. I can't wait to see it again at some point. So yeah, really smart by them to drop this during that time, because I'm sure there's people who are getting this because of just a lot of hype around the movie. You know what I mean?
And the figure, are we going to talk a little bit about the figure, Steve?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I'll keep I was going to say another reason is the figure looks absolutely incredible, man. Like the figure looks really, really good.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, and we talked about how the hype is fun, Steve, like getting to talk about the movie. Me and you've chatted a little bit about it, and just chatting this morning about our pre-orders. That's what I'm talking about with everybody in the chat. Like, enjoy these times, because that's, I mean, to me anyway, and Steve, I think you agree with me, like that's part of the fun, man. That's like when you finally get this figure, you're going to remember talking to your buddies about it. You're going to remember the hype you had. And so I don't mind the wait, because I feel like that just adds a little bit more makes it a little bit more special when it finally does come in. So.
Yep. And that's another reason that it's like, it's cool you started a YouTube channel, because then you'll remember that too. Like, it's always, YouTube is like kind of opens up that realm even more of like, once you're talking about a lot, because you're doing live streams and you're doing, videos and all that stuff, then you see yourself grow as a content creator on YouTube too. And then it takes you back to that part as well. It's cool. What do you think? What's your thoughts on like this exclusive accessory? Are you happy that this accessory is like exclusive to ordering Inart Direct? Would you have gone elsewhere if this did not have this mouse? Would you have gone elsewhere?
Probably, if I'm being honest with you, like just to help out some friends of mine in the community, people that I've become friends with, just to help to help their reach a little bit. Like when they gave out a coupon code, I kind of wanted to support them. And there was a lot out there. Like a lot of people had some different coupon codes, and that was dude. And I'd say that. I'd honestly say that was a big selling point for me. And a lot of people don't care about it, and that's awesome. That's what I'm saying. Definitely go check out these other resources. But I was excited to get to finally order direct from the manufacturer. Like that's something I'm not used to doing either. So I wanted to kind of have that experience, man. Like I wanted to see how it goes. Like I want to see that way when we do get this figure in, Steve, me and you can both kind of be telling people like how it went, like our experience with it. And me and you have ordered it around the same time. So we should maybe have the same timeline for when this comes out. We'll see. So, but yeah, to answer your question, it definitely did play a big part of it. And then I'd say a smaller part of it, but still a big part was I wanted to see how it went direct from, you know, Queen Studios and Art, and see how that goes. So
me too, with this being the first one, like direct, I feel like there are some unknowns involved, but I also, if you have issues, ordering direct is always just like a way you're going to get your stuff resolved. And I know like other resellers and stuff too, they're like Inart's been really good about it. Whatever reseller you contact them, and then they can get you hooked up with Inart, or Inart, they'll contact Inart and get you taken care of. But Inart's been pretty good about that, it looks like, from what I've read and what I've seen, people's experiences. But there's nothing like going direct either. You know what I mean? For me, the price was pretty comparable elsewhere. I'm okay with paying a little bit more with the exclusive accessory.
Yeah.
Because I've said this in the past, anytime you add exclusivity to something, there's a value factor there. Unless it's just a really bad, like, unless the exclusive is just not great, like the Blue Dark Knight Batman, the Warner Brothers Batman. That's like one. Yeah. Every once in a while there's an exclusive. There's exclusive things that people don't care about or that they're not great. But in this case, when you have a figure like this, not that I want to, not that I think I'll ever like get rid of this, but if you were to, this figure is going, with this being a global release, the market's going to be very saturated with this figure. The one thing that's going to set it apart potentially, if you ever came across a time where you wanted to move this figure, is having like what is somebody going to want to buy at the time? A lot of people are probably going to say like, I want the one with the exclusive accessory. Like that's probably going to play a role in value. Also, it's gonna be very funny seeing like this mouse go for like over $100 when this first comes out, because people are going to be parting it out. People are just going to get this and they're going to be like, I'm going to sell this mouse for $100+ on eBay. They're going to flood eBay.
Yeah.
Like that's going to happen, unfortunately. But like the value is going to be, I think, even though it's just this little tiny mouse, the value is going to be higher for me too. Like the mouse is a really cool accessory. I know it's like really small, but it's an important, cool thing to the story as well, as you know. And it's just like, yeah, it's just a really cool thing to have. So that's the reason, my kind of rationalization as to why, like I went the route that I did. I guess I didn't say I also pre-ordered this, like, right, pretty much like a couple minutes after it went up, I ended up pre-ordering it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that the thing I do like about the accessory is it's enough for people that really want it, but it's not enough of a deterrent to where, like, if you did find a better deal on one of these other sites or you're able to use a coupon, like, I don't think it's enough for a lot of people to feel like they need it, you know? So it's not like it's an essential part of the, like, you know, it's not like it's a different outfit or something, you know?
Sure. Something really critical. Yep. Yeah.
Where you feel like you're kind of being like, man, that ain't right. Like they're selling this, like, and now that one sold out. Now I can't even get that. Now I got to go to eBay. So I do like, I just like little exclusives like that don't make it feel like people still aren't getting the complete figure themselves. I don't think a lot of people, to be honest with you, Steve, like me and you might be in the minority on this. Like, I don't know how many people are super excited about the mouse.
Ooh, a lot. I think a lot, man.
Oh, for real? Okay. Yeah. See, I wasn't
think
sure
like
about
potentially
that.
a lot of people want this mouse.
Okay. See, I wasn't sure. I hadn't talked about that with too many people, so I wasn't sure where people were stood on that, you know? So
I think you're going to get a lot of people. Actually, it's tough. A lot of people like myself, I guess, like you, like anytime there's like some type of accessory or something, depending on what it is. One thing I don't like is like Sideshow does a lot of like holograms. Like for this Darth Vader that just came out, like you get a Grand Inquisitor hologram. I don't really care enough. What I do care about is this Obi-Wan Kenobi figure that's coming out, where you get the lightsaber hilts in the box for the Kenobi show. You can only get that through Sideshow Special Edition. So like there's some that I'm a little bit more picky about than others for special editions. But also Special Edition doesn't always equal exclusive. Like Sideshow has a ton of those. Like this one truly is like exclusive to ordering it direct from Inart. But I think there's probably a lot of people interested, but at the same time, on the other side, like there's probably a lot of people who don't care, like you said. But I think I think there's a good, like a few people I talked to today, and a few people that I talked to actually earlier this week too, who like would usually typically order somewhere else, are like, well, damn, now I have to order it in our direct because they have like the exclusive accessory.
And that's the beauty of it, is people that care have the option. And that's what I like. I like having options, you know. I do like having the option of, if I really don't care, man, you know, I can maybe get a bigger coupon code over here with this site. You know, I saw that Brad said Bricks code increased to 18%. So again, there's options out there if you don't care. But like me and Steve, and I'll speak for you on this one, Steve, since you already said it, but we wanted the mouse, man. Like we really wanted that accessory. So the only way to do that is to go directly to the site, you know, so.
Yep. 100%. Let's see here. Jeffrey's in the house. What's up, Jeffrey? He says, what's up? I have this on order. Does the rooted one come with the deluxe? Yes, the deluxe. So the standard version is sculpted hair, and the deluxe version is rooted hair. That's the differentiator. Yep. Yes. Hayden says, I don't have many figures on order for 2025, so I was more than willing to order this right away. Most of my orders are set to release the end of this year. I'll have everything paid off by then. Yeah, it's good to keep it in check.
Just wait until they start. Just wait till we get to about, I don't know, June, and then you're going to have a lot more for 2025, man.
Yeah. AJ says, just don't go to Big Bad Toy Store. Not sure where their price is coming from. Yeah, their price is $649.99.
Goodness.
And I think flat rate shipping I think their shipping is $4. But yeah, that is, oof. Man, that's wow. And I like Big Bad Toy Stores, but that's out of pocket. That's wild. Hayden says the mouse is worth it all. Brad says, I want that mouse. MB Dyson, I only want the mouse.
Hey, I stand correct. You're right, Steve. This mouse is a big deal, man.
Forget the figure. I only want the mouse.
They're like, who's Paul Atreides? I just want the mouse. That's it.
Figure Craft is in the house. What's up, man? He says, fellas, good evening. A newer channel member from I think that was my last stream as well. He had just joined the Evil Empire, so welcome in. By the way, if you guys are interested in joining the Evil Empire, my channel membership, there is a link that's pinned it's pinned to the top of the chat. Halia Figure, also the man himself, is a member of the Evil Empire as well. So thank you.
Yeah, it's been great.
But appreciate it, man. Figurecraft, good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. And then X-Man says, churro mouse. Love my churros. Dude, churros are the bomb. If you get really good ones.
Can I tell a quick story about a churro? Yeah. Do we got time? So when Spider-Man Homecoming came out, I went to Alamo Draft House to check it out, and they had a special menu for the movie, and they had I can't even remember like the exact name of it, but they had, like one of the items was a churro, because I think in Homecoming, like there's a scene with that. And every time somebody mentions that now, I think about ordering that it was fantastic too. But I'm just saying, like, I wanted to tell that quick story about, another little thing that, is just really good marketing for stuff, to make you order. They probably charged me $15 for it, but just because it was named after Spider-Man, I was like, man, the hype, I got to have this while I'm watching it. Yeah, exactly. So
when I, Cage, who you see in the chat a lot, he's one of my really good friends.
Oh yeah.
Him and I went to Star Wars Celebration 2019 together in Chicago.
Oh man.
They had a churro stand. We had it was 5 days. I ate like 4 to 5 churros a day. I spent so much money on churros. We just kept going back and just getting churro after churro.
Well, you're probably having to be in line all the time, right? So you had to get like a quick grab and eat food.
You always just, and like the food wasn't always packed, so it was really nice. Yeah, you just walk up and you could buy something relatively quickly, but yeah, you're constantly on the move. You don't really have a lot of time to just you don't want to just sit and eat.
Yeah.
But yeah, those churros were so
dude, if you get a fresh one, if they're fresh, they're fantastic. I mean, they really are. So
yeah.
But I had to throw that in there, man.
Yeah. Love some churros. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. It's been a long week. I'm happy it's the weekend.
Oh yeah.
Thrawn's office is happy for everyone getting this, which seems like everyone but me. Ella does give me that dodged a bullet feeling of relief for having zero interest in it. Anything I can dodge is a bonus. It's always refreshing and nice when you come across a figure and you're like, yep, no interest. Thank you. Finally. Yeah, it's crazy. Hoonigan says this is gorgeous, but not on my list. I hope they keep up the good work. Inart has been on a tear with these the minimum amount of figures that they've released so far, and I know they're just starting out, but like all their figures have been looking really, really good. The only one that I have is the Inart Joker, the Rooted 2-pack, which is an awesome set. Waiting on that Batman. Who knows? I'll see that maybe at the end of this year. Who knows? Who knows? But likely releasing this month. Yeah, I can't wait to get that Rooted Batman. Oh yeah, that's gonna be very, very cool. Let's see here. Collection Obsession says I don't know what this is. Curiosity A5 Disneyland or the bomb. Oh, maybe he meant the churros at Disneyland, and it changed up.
Oh yeah, that's what it is.
Maybe it's a autocorrect or something. But
yeah, theme park churros. If you can get them early, or if you can get them like where they make them. Like if you go to those ones where if you go to those ones where they're just sitting out, man, like they're
forget about it.
They've just been sitting out. Yeah, you got to get them when they make them fresh for you.
X-Men Stream says, Inart hasn't got me just yet. I was seriously considering that Superman, but I know when they put out the Chris Reeve, they'll get me. Oh, yeah, you want to wait for that version. Yeah, I'm getting Henry Cavill one. I got that one on pre-order as well.
They're going to get X-Man too, man. Every time I'm talking to this dude, he's got... he's cried for help, man. He's like, man, I got another pre-order in and all this stuff.
He's all in on Underground now. He's about to... He'll get the Inart bug eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. But let's take a look at some of these photos, man.
Yeah, man.
You get the floor. You get to go first the whole night. This is the last thing we'll talk about tonight because we're already almost at the 2-hour mark. Crazy, but
yeah, sorry, man. I could talk a bit. Yeah.
No, me too. It's all good. I have zero plans, so let's keep it rolling. And yeah, man. Yeah, let's.
All right. So for me,
thoughts.
Yeah, for me, I just think like I always like to start with the head sculpt. So like for me, and again, I'm gonna go back to the eyes. Like I'm definitely seeing Timothée Chalamet like a lot in the figure, so like that's a plus. I got to keep reminding myself this is from the first Dune, so there's some stuff in Dune 2 that if it was a Dune 2 figure, I definitely want to see that. But since it's from the first film, I don't know about you, Steve, but the costume design in this, and we've talked about this ad nauseum tonight, but the costume design in this movie, man, I love this costume design. I love the outfits in this movie, and I just think this looks so cool. And it's almost like the cool thing about Dune is it's futuristic, but also medieval. And like, it's weird. It's that balance of like, they have this incredible technology, but yet some of the stuff seems old school, like from a time before, so
kind of I just some ancient vibes to it. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And there's just, again, look at that cape, man. I mean, that cape right there, like I assume that's wired cape and stuff. Yeah. And it just looks...
I don't know if it's wired or not.
See, I'm not sure either. That's what I was... Anyway, it looks great. And the whole costume looks great. The dagger really stands out. Like that looks really, really good. Yeah, right there. That's a great shot there.
Yeah, it's a cool picture. I don't think this is wired. This looks like a wire.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. And
I'm sure it says it in the well, there's kind of a picture of it.
Yeah.
So zoomed in.
That backpack too. I think in a few of these other pictures, like that opens up and stuff. And so that's really cool.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I just like it. It's got black and gray. Oh, dude, I'll be honest with you. That's the first time I saw that shot. Like most of the shots I've seen have had the thing like that. Looks really good.
Yeah. The one on Facebook is like, this is like the photos on their website are kind of newer ones. Hey, before we continue, I just want to say, what's up, D-Lo? D-Lo Collections. Hello there. What is up, bro? Thank you. Thank you for stopping in. Appreciate you being here, man. We talked about Balin and Shin. Now we're on to our last topic of the night at the 2-hour mark. Talking about Inart. All right, go ahead.
No, man, I'm kind of excited because a couple of these I'm seeing for the first time. And I love the proportions on that. Like I love the like that just looks like great.
Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah. I wish I had more like specific things to say. Okay. See, this is another one. I got to talk about this now. The nose, the thing in the nose. I don't even know I can't remember what that's called, but
I forget what it's called.
That's kind of how I would probably display it. But I do like the option of putting the mask up as well. but to me, like, I really like that version. I mean,
cool.
every picture just gets better, Steve. Every picture.
I
That's
like
the picture that we
badass.
shared on the thumbnail, I think, or something similar to this.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is also really like it's gonna have rolling eyes as well.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Oh my gosh, man.
Yeah, this is cool. I like the look like with his like with the cape on though.
I do too.
Whatever you want to call it. I don't know exactly what. Like with his like, I don't know what you would call this thing that he's wearing. Kind of like a cape.
Yeah, it's almost like the thing he would wear to travel across the sand
like
with, you know?
Yeah. This is cool.
Oh,
they had like a couple of these like sand photos.
Yeah.
I might have to put like some kinetic sand or something in my display case.
Yeah, we might, man.
These like sand shots are pretty cool. This is cool. I just wouldn't. It looks really badass. I don't think I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. It kind of reminds me a little about like Ronin, you know, like it kind of reminds me of that type of feel. And I want it to be Paul Atreides. So like, I think for me, I want, you know, and especially Steve, we're getting the rooted. So like, we want that hair flowing, man. We want that Timothy Chalamet hair.
Exactly. You don't want to cover it up. That's the hard part when you get rooted in art figures like the Batman. Like I was just talking about, like, I'm not going to have the cowl on. I'm going to have the head sculpt, you know, it's kind of the reason for me to get it.
Yeah. And I see some people in the comments. Christian Cooper said he still needs to see Dune 2. I would just implore you to see it in the theaters. Like,
yeah, if you can see it in like a good IMAX, if you can see it in a good IMAX, that'd be worth it. But yeah, it's go see it in the theater.
I do think this figure still looks great, Steve. Don't get me wrong, but cool. It loses it a little bit. Like to me, the hair look, and this would be if I had the sculpted version as well. That just captures that character more to me than this. But I do like the option of having this.
Sure.
So.
Yep. Yeah. This I like the option too. This would be like, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there buying the rooted version and then also just getting the standard sculpted version so they can just do this look potentially.
Yep.
You know, this
is that a separate
cool, man? Yeah,
it does. And is that a separate head sculpt, Steve?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
I don't believe so. Okay. I don't know how. This is a really good question. This is a good question. I don't know what they're doing with this hairpiece. I can go back here. Hold on. Let me go back. Oh, it is.
It is a separate one. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, I love that. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that. So it says.
Yeah, thanks, X-Men. I see. Yeah, X-Men was saying it too.
Yeah, like, it's a separate sculpt. It makes sense. I mean, you don't want to like cover up the hair like that. And I don't know how you would. This I was wondering, like, is it a separate head sculpt or do you just pop off the hair? Because like, you know, you can take like the back of the hair off the Joker, but I'm wondering like, yeah, how would you do that? But I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense. Yeah. You can see it in this accessories photo, and I think we're gonna get to it. We're gonna get to it here. Let me take a
dude. I don't know about you, man. We looked at we were kind of looking at these at the same time because we were talking about it this morning. But I think every time I look at this, and this is how you know it's a good figure, because yeah, dude, a lot of times you see these figures and everything looks, but then you kind of look at them a couple times, and that shot, man, looks great. Yeah, the black and white, yeah, and the shots
badass too.
Yeah, the warm. No, dude, it is no, but that's how I'm feeling, Steve. Like every single picture that comes out looks great. It just looks better than the last one. And every accessory to me is essential. Like a lot of these figures I'm seeing, you get accessories and like, you're honestly probably not going to use, it's nice to have them, but you're not going to use a lot of them. I could totally see you using multiple accessories with this figure.
Yeah. Or like setting them down next to them and stuff. Like there will be cool stuff to do.
That right there to me captures Timothy Chalamet like almost the best. That image right there.
Yeah, this was a really good one.
Golly, dude, I love that costume design. I love it. Oh my gosh, I forgot about that accessory too, man.
Yeah, it was the thumper.
Yeah.
And this thing has like, it actually opens too. So it articulates. The backpack is really cool. This is a really cool backpack too.
Yeah, the fact that it opens and it yeah. I mean, again, every accessory here is like a character in the movie. Like that's what's cool about it, is they each have their, I mean, that's what I'm going to have on mine. I don't know about you, Steve, but I'm going to for sure have it displayed with that. That's just huge...
I probably will too.
Yeah, man. What do you think, Steve, about the about the material, because you have more experience with this. What material is this?
I don't
do you
know.
Oh, okay.
They say they use like high grade materials, I guess. I don't really know like what these straps are. I'm not really sure. But I mean, this looks like just kind of some rugged type of, I don't even know. I couldn't tell you.
Are you happy with it though? Like, is that
Oh yeah.
like,
Oh yeah.
do
No,
you see
this
the
is gonna be
posability
this will be
being
quality. This will be quality.
okay?
Yeah. Yeah. The material will be like, if it's anything from like their other releases, I feel like it's gonna be quality. Yeah. Again, I only have like the Inart Joker, so I don't know much about the other ones, but like their stuff is like, I mean, the Joker's really nice. Like it's high quality. I feel like it's high quality. I haven't really um had any issues with that figure.
Does this remind you a little bit of the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman outfit a little bit? Some of the stuff within this, the
I don't,
colors and the
as far as like the material goes.
yeah. Again, I know it's a totally separate deal, and I'm probably putting you on the spot. I just meant some of the shots we're looking in, like the zoomed in shots, remind me a little bit of that material that they use on
Yeah,
that figure.
it could
Perhaps.
potentially be. It could potentially be like that matte colored material.
Mhm.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I don't know the answer.
No, it's cool, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
I just
that's a good thing to check what type of material like they actually use, like for their clothing and stuff. I don't know. I usually they just say like they use high quality materials or whatever. I don't know what this is. Somebody in the chat knows. Um, you can enlighten us, but
regardless, it looks amazing.
yep, yep.
Looks amazing.
Hayden said, "Do you guys think they'll make a part 2 version? This figure seems to be a mix of both movies, so I think they gave us something we could use for either display." I don't know if they'll make a part 2. Like, there's a couple subtle differences. They could probably relatively easily if they wanted to go that route. I know they talked about. I know I've seen them reply to a couple comments on Facebook saying that they're exploring, like they are looking into doing part 2 figures at a later date. Would they redo him? I don't really know. Like, if they would. That'll kind of be a telling moment for Inart. Like, are they going to basically take this figure and make a couple minor adjustments and then release it again for like at this price point? That's going to be a tough sell for a lot of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do hope. I wish there was a way they could give us. And again, I told people that didn't see the movie I wouldn't mention anything about it for spoilers and stuff. So this wouldn't really be one, but I still won't mention it. There's something in the second movie that I would love to have on this character, and it has to do with the head sculpt. So that's all I'll say. But I would love to have that in my. I'm with Steve. That'd be a tough pill to swallow, just getting this one with how expensive it is and how
Having to
I don't
switch
know
it.
how different they would be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do hope I would. And Steve, I know you said this would be a one and done for you. If they released any other characters from Dune, would you be interested in any other characters?
Yeah, I would consider some other characters for sure.
Yeah.
The one that would be really cool to get is what's his name? Austin Butler. Fade Rotha.
Fade Rotha. Yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
He would be a cool fate. Like, he was just such a great villain. He'd be a cool figure to have. But yeah, like a Chani would be nice. Like having just a companion piece. But at that price point, it's just that's what I'm saying. Like this, he's kind of, for me, he kind of falls into that category of like, I'm gonna just have him as a standalone piece. You know, I don't know if I need necessarily anything else from this movie. I just like, I want something that's a representation in the movie. I don't know if I necessarily need more than that. You know what I mean?
For me, I think those would be the two. Yeah, I'm with you though. Those would be the two that I would absolutely think would be if I had those three, I'd be happy. There's other characters I'd get. I'm kind of hoping they don't release too many. Like, I'm in that weird thing. Like, I want it, but I don't want it because it's like I'm gonna have to order them. If they did a Fade Rotha, I would love if they somehow could do like a 2-pack of just that character. I know that we don't like that. You know, I don't like it, but that and you see this in the trailer, but the scene where it's filmed in like infrared for Fade Rotha, like the Coliseum.
Oh yeah, when it's black and white.
I want to have I want to have a version of that in a regular one. Like, that'd be sweet.
Also, like Inart, like there's no rooted option for that one. So
no.
I don't know, like that. And this is where Inart, it gets, when you have figures that have this level of cost, when you start to get to like building out lines, it's different to do that with this type of product than it is to do it with like a Hot Toys line.
Yeah, great point.
For the
That's a great point.
price, you know what I mean? Like at what point, like this price point is like can be disruptive for a lot of people, like for their overall budget of a year of figures. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot of money to toss at one figure, no matter how high quality it is. You know what I mean? So building out a line is kind of like Inart is like a kind of so young, so it's like there hasn't really been that yet. But building out a line for this is a scary thought.
I agree. That's a really good point you made there.
It's like it's just like I don't want to think about buying multiple.
I know, and I was talking about a 2-pack, you know,
line. You know what I mean? Like like look at the Jokers already. Even the 2-pack was crazy, but the 4-pack is just it's just that level of it's just a hard pill to swallow with all that or with that level of cost. Sorry, I just exited out of something, but look at this little guy. Look at this little guy. Gotta have it.
I agree, man. I know. Yeah. I mean, I agree though. I think I want them. Gotta have it.
Yep. It's cool. It's cool.
If I'm spending this amount of money anyway, I want that extra piece. Like that's kind of how I'm looking at it too. Is like, I really want that extra piece. And again, like we talked about, Steve, it's important to the character, you know?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like I feel like it actually has some level of significance. You know what I mean?
I like how they show the hand. I like how Inart shows the hands in their photos because we can really get a good visual of the pairings we're going to have here.
Yeah, this is a lot. They always have a bunch. They had a bunch of hands for Joker too, but there's a lot of stuff. A lot of hands.
Yeah, it is.
Yep. I remember too, when I was trying to put on my Inart Joker hands, I'm like, what the hell? Like there's a magnet in the hand, but you still have to peg it in. So I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this not? And then I found out you have to like use some force or just like, and I'm like, why is there a magnet in here if you have to like still force it? It's very interesting.
Does that figure, Steve, is that the one with the magnetic base?
They all have magnetic bases. Every one of Inart's figures.
Okay.
Yep. That's another thing is this has a magnetic base. Joker does. And a lot of people, maybe not a lot, but some people have had issues with their Jokers falling.
Gotcha. What are you, I know you just have that one figure, but what are your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I've had no problems with it falling, like the magnetic base, but also like it limits your ability to pose. The magnets are in a certain spot on the base. So like you set the figure down and you will feel it shift right where the magnets are when you're posing it. So it's very like, if you want to put it on the base, you have limited ability how he's going to stand on there. It's going to be very museum style. As opposed to like I have the 2-pack, so the jail cell, he can sit on the bench and you can pose him really well. The figures pose well. It's just if he's standing on the base, you have limited ability to pose it.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Let's see if we got.
Looks good.
Yeah, so we got just a couple more accessories here. I know these pictures are small, but I wanted to go through their website because they're a little bit different.
There it is. I love that.
Yeah, the blade is cool. Yeah, here's a backpack.
Here's that backpack opened. Yeah.
So this would be cool to like have sitting next to him. You know what I mean? I think that's cool.
I mean, again, I not talking about the magnetic stuff really, but just the look of the base. I like this base. Cool. I mean, I'm happy with that. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I think the base is cool. It says Dune and then Paul on the front, I think. Yeah, I think the base is this is a cool base. I'm fine with it. I think it looks pretty cool. It's nothing crazy, but like I think it definitely fits this is going to look cool with the figure for sure. I'm pretty happy with the base.
Does that Joker you have rooted hair?
Oops. It does.
What's been your experience with that? Like,
it's really nice.
Okay.
Yeah, sweet. It's the hair and like, yeah, they did it. It really changes it. Like I've seen the sculpted Joker too. I couldn't go sculpted for Joker. Yeah. Like the Inart sculpted one. It's just a huge, for me personally, it's just such a big difference. Yeah, it's really good quality. They rooted it really well. You can kind of style it if you really want to. There's ways to do that. Mine didn't really have to require too much of that out of the box. It was actually pretty good.
Right.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy with it. I'm really happy with the rooting. Yeah,
nice, man.
They do a really good job rooting. I think
when the hair is an essential part of the character, and I feel like the Paul Atreides hair for me that is a big part of the character. I'm very excited to have that the deluxe version of this one.
Yeah.
That's right there, Steve. Is kind of how that's my
cool.
setup. That's what I want. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is great.
This looks easy to pose too. Like this does. I don't think you're gonna have any problems.
There's what movie canon. He said, I want to recreate the Paul and Fade Rotha scene. That would do it. That would be amazing.
That would be really cool.
Dude, thank you for showing me these photos, man. Like, I don't know how, like, I was so excited just on like the 7 photos I saw. That was enough for me to pre-order this figure.
This was like right on the site. So I think like this is right on Inart's site, which I'm sure a lot of people were just like you and me as well. Like you're on Facebook and you look at the photos they put on Facebook. And then like, I didn't need to look at these photos. I just looked through here on their website to see if there's anything different. And sure enough, like they had some different photos.
Yeah.
So yeah, it worked out. I think we went through them all. Did we go through them all?
Yes, we've seen these.
Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful figure, man.
This is a cool post too. He's going to have some really some really, really cool posing options. And like, I might have to get some sand or something to put around him. Like
that's what I was going to say.
Some type of sand, you know.
Go real quick before we end it. Like talking about the figure. Can you go to that sandworm one again, where it's the back and he's holding the 2? Because that would be one that like with some sand, man, would look incredible.
Where he's holding the hooks.
There it is. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, this is badass.
I mean, just think of like if you're a photographer, like toy photographer, you're gonna just all these different looks, these different iconic scenes. Yeah, man. I like that too. You mentioned how cool that was. Something simple like that looks great.
Yeah, I think like doing something like I really like the cloak, like the cape.
I do too. I do too.
The cloak. Like something like this is really cool.
Now, do you like that, or do you like the face sculpt clean, or do you like the nose accessory there?
I think this is fine, but like I kind of like it just clean.
Yeah, man, that's the thing. It's like I'm kind of wondering how I like it.
This is badass with the blade, a little head down.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, man.
Me and you have the same. Like that's what I was saying. I'm going to repeat myself because every picture is like, man, that's so cool. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really it's looking really good. I'm excited for it. Again, we're gonna be waiting another year, a little over a year, potentially longer. So we'll see. But it's looking really good. Yeah, man. What a week!
Yeah, I mean, you yawned at the perfect time because it's been an exciting but exhausting week of potential pre-orders. I mean, my gosh, I've been getting hit from everywhere. Balin and Shin, Paul Atreides, Pennywise. It's like, man, I can't breathe right now, man. But
sorry, don't mean to yawn. Usually I got enough energy to stream, but Fridays, like I work Monday through Thursday, so Friday I'm usually feeling it. But I usually got enough energy to stream and I'm good, but just my body. My mind is sharp, but my body is tired. That's how it is. But feel great, but just my body just like go to sleep.
I got you.
Yeah, man, very cool. This is a cool look. This photo, I like this.
I really like that too. And are you getting Timothée Chalamet with every angle, or do you like the only one I saw? There's one where he looks a little bit like that Finn Wolfhard actor, a little bit like in one of the photos, but
I think it's pretty good in most of these.
I agree with you. I think like 99.8% is like
you can tell who this is in all the photos. I will say
100%, 100%. Yes. I just wanted to find one little thing I could be because all I've said is like incredible things about it. That one right there. That's the one where he looks a little bit like that dude from Stranger Things.
This does look a little bit different.
Yeah,
I would agree. Some of it, I think, is a little bit of the lighting too. Damn, it's a good photo.
This is gonna be.
They really kill it with the sculpts. That's one thing in art is just like the head sculpts are just on point. See, this would be something like this with the with
the
the
hair?
rooted head. With the
Mhm.
hair is what I'll probably do.
That's a good shot there.
Yeah.
And that's cool. How many figures can you say you want to pose it to where the back is showing to you?
Yeah.
Or like the side angle or whatever. That's a
Yeah,
cool
this would be
thing they're
cool to do
showing.
something like this or have him like, I probably would angle him a little bit more forward unless you have a cabinet where you can see multiple angles, you know.
Yeah, good point.
Yep. If you can go see multiple angles or you have like a DTOF style cabinet or something like that, and you have the ability to kind of walk around and check different angles. Not everybody has that either, but yeah,
Right.
that would be that'd be cool.
Nice, man.
Look at that. Very cool.
That's just so good, man. So good. Can't wait. Can't wait. But I'm gonna enjoy it because there's so many figures coming out between now and then that we'll be okay. We can wait.
Yep. A lot of stuff. It's gonna be crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. And like for you, I remember for me too, now I'm starting to feel it. Like, cause I've been in the hobby like about a year and a half now. And now I'm starting to feel the weights of like the waiting game of things because I'm ordering a lot of stuff now that I like, ordered this, wait until mid 2025. So now I'm starting to feel it more versus initially early on, like I was going backwards a lot. So I felt like, oh, I'm not really waiting too long, or oh, something's just now releasing that I'm interested in. I don't really have to wait.
Yeah.
But now I'm really starting to feel it. You're in your early days where you can like, there's stuff you can go backwards on or stuff that's already out that I'm sure you're interested in getting, you know what I mean? That's nice.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like just picking up that Star-Lord like that helps with the weight on a Scarlet Witch that I'm waiting on, or a Bane or a Catwoman that I still haven't gotten,
Yeah.
But I could see how you're having that issue now though, because you've got the stuff you wanted. Now you're waiting on the stuff to come in. It's like I still know you're waiting on that Batman. I know that's been a tough one on your list to wait on, man. So
yeah, Batman. Hopefully really soon.
Yeah.
Sideshow's taking a lot. Sideshows, like I said, Underground gets his stuff from Sideshow, so they said they were going to ship it out. He got shipping notice, and they didn't. So just whatever. Something happened, and it's delayed. At this point, it doesn't really matter. It's probably gonna if it's another few weeks or whatever. It's fine.
Yeah,
I've waited so long, but that's okay. Any closing thoughts, man, on everything we talked about? Man, it's hard having a Batman or Batmobile and not having a Batman. I have the Batman. I have the Bat Cycle, the Batmobile, and then I have a third party Riddler coming in. The 6 Feet Lane Studios Conundrum Man, which 6 Feet Lane I'm pretty sure is like it's Mars Toys, but just under a different name. But I have a Riddler coming in that I'm probably gonna have too that already shipped before the Batman. So is what it is. It's okay. It's hard, but it'll make me even more grateful when I get that Batman figure posed up.
That's what I was gonna say. It'll make it sweeter when it gets there.
It'll be badass. Finally have all that, and then I just put the Batman in there. Then it's good. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no,
Batman,
dude. No, just closing it out to make it quick. I know we streamed a lot longer than you probably were anticipating. So
no, it's good. I have no answer.
Oh, okay, cool.
I forgot to ask you before. Usually I ask people, hey, do you have a limit? I don't have a limit. I just go until I want to be done.
Well, when me and you get to chat, man, it just, like I said, that was a quick 2.5 hours, dude.
Yeah.
It didn't feel like maybe to the chat it did. They were like, good Lord, they're still going.
Be done with it.
Yeah, but no, man, I appreciate you having me on. It's been an awesome conversation, and my final thoughts are just thank you, man, for having me on. And
for sure,
I hope the chat enjoyed it, and I sure did. So
yeah, I talked about these figures kind of on Wednesday, so wanted to go a little bit more in depth with my thoughts, but then it was nice having you on to get your interpretation, and it's a nice chat with you. What you want to tell the people who are left in here what you got coming up on your channel? You're working on stuff. I know you just posted a couple videos. Recently.
Yeah. I posted talking about Dune. I did a fun. I kind of like to do these fun, like exactly, X-Men, exactly. But I have my 2 latest videos are up on my channel. If you want to check them out, show a little support on there, I'd appreciate it. It's a Dune, like 5 figures I want to see next from Dune Part 2. No spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie, you can still check that out. And then I think before then I talked about Balin and Shin, and then I have a top 10 Marvel that those all came out within the past like week and a half. And I got a couple videos lined up that I'll be releasing next week as well. So just any support I get, having Steve being nice enough to have me on really helps with getting to talk to you guys and stuff. So I appreciate anybody that's checking out my videos. It means a lot. So
yes, go check him out. The link is in the description. And hold on, I gotta check something real quick for the people that are still in here. Hold on a second. 95 subs. If you guys are in here and you have not subscribed to How You Figure, I'm going to wait like 2 minutes to end it because 12 people are in here. If you are not subbed yet, go head on over there. The link is in the description here. I'm going to paste it into the chat.
Yeah, man. That'd be a good little milestone to hit tonight, Steve. The 100.
Get this man to 100. We got to get a couple. We got to get at least a couple more.
Yeah, man.
Couple more. There's the channel link, but you're already putting out 96. Yeah, 14
I feel like
videos. You're like pumping stuff out.
Yeah, dude. Well, yeah, man. And it's here's the fun thing about it, dude. And I'm not trying to sound overly, humble about this stuff, but I truly, if it wouldn't be for guys like you, man, that are giving me a platform to talk. I really am being serious. No, but I am like you don't have to have me come on the show. I just started, it's a really nice deal for y'all to invite me on the show. Everybody in the chat I get to talk with on the chat when I'm in other people's streams. That's why I started it, man, is to get involved in the community. And I've been having a blast, man. It's easy making videos when you're enjoying it. And yeah, dude, I'm this is my favorite part about it, is getting to talk with people like you, Steve, and on people's streams. And
yeah, it's fun.
It's just been a blast, dude.
Yeah, it's really fun. Yeah, you've had a quick growth on YouTube, man. That's awesome. You're putting out, just like putting out a lot of videos, and they're good too. Like, I've enjoyed the videos. I need to watch a couple of these new ones that you put out, but yeah, man, just kind of you're just yourself on your videos. And I remember I was your first sub. How you
were, man.
How you've grown.
And if you,
I don't even remember how I saw your channel. I just saw it randomly one day. I don't remember how.
Yeah, I don't either, because I told you I was lurking on a lot of people's streams and stuff. I didn't have my own channel, and then so I'd kind of been watching y'all's, especially the Wolfpack Wednesday stuff. So, but if you enjoyed me on Steve's show, let Steve know. Maybe he'll have me on again. We'll see. I'll bug him eventually again, because I do enjoy just talking with you, man. And it's
oh yeah, for sure, dude.
It's been awesome, dude. I really, really do appreciate it, though. All joking aside,
for sure,
it means a lot to me.
For sure, man. Happy to have you on. It was good chatting with you, and good chatting with the chat as always. Hammer of God, did I miss the Paul discussion? You just got back. This man has seen Dune 2 8 times. Yes, you missed it, but you can catch a replay if you'd like. You can catch a replay.
I love that, though, man. It is that good. So go see it in theaters, man. Like you're not going to get the same experience if you check it out on Max. You're just not.
Yep. Yeah, that's how I checked out the first one, which is fine. I have a small home theater in my basement, but it still is different going to see it in the movie theater. This one, at least.
For sure.
Yep. Okay. I think that's it. Well, you got one sub. If you guys haven't, go check Justin out. How You Figure in the description below. What do I got coming up on the channel? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't thought about it, and I haven't thought about it. Batmobile review will happen at some point. I've been saying this. It's going to take a while. I got some other videos up my sleeve. It's been life for me in the past week or so has been busy. Sometimes I have these lulls where I have a week of just being really busy, but you can always catch me on Jedi Knight's Watch channel, Wolfpack Wednesday. But I do have some stuff in the pipeline that I'm working on. Any new announcements and stuff, I'm probably going to keep just doing this show. Sneak peek. Episode 5, we're just going to keep rolling. It's been a lot of fun doing it. So if there's a figure that comes out and I want to, want to talk about it, I'll probably just do a live a day or two after, or however the schedule may fall. So that's how I'm doing it. I'm having a blast just doing that. So
yeah, man.
Yeah, just what I'm doing. I'm having a lot of fun. So try to just keep it. So I'm doing that. Yeah. That's all I got. You got any closing thoughts, man? Any closing words?
My closing words, the people still in the chat. I see a lot of familiar names. Once again, truly appreciate anybody that's commented on my video, that was talking to me in chat. If I didn't get back to you I tried my best to do it. Thank y'all for sticking around on this 2.5 hour sneak peek
banger.
Steve might rethink it because he's like, I really only got an hour. Justin's going to talk just about Paul Atreides' hair for an hour. I'm not sure. No, but I really do appreciate everyone that checks out a video, everybody that tunes in on the stream. And I think we can all agree, man, Steve, like I said, whenever you do post, even if it's a long week, man, we'll be here supporting, dude. So
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Really enjoyed having you on. Thank you so much. And chat, appreciate you as always. And until next time, 2.5 hours of greatness. Yes. Yes.
I love that. I love that.
All right. Collect carefully, everyone.